my bathroom.
She does, and a bidet. Her bathroom's fucking amazing.
Bidet.
Even
Live in a hotel?
even in my mind, if there was a TV in the bathroom with me and I was laying in a bath, my mind would go to, why not just do this, but whilst being dry and comfortable and not submerged in water?
But you see, sometimes I'm
My
watching
own filth.
TV and I'm like, why don't I do this but warm and in bubbles?
Okay,
see.
counter argument. But yeah, my mind kind of works that way, but for the opposite, to argue against said argument, so you know.
But no, it means I spend far too long in there, so I also can't have a bath on a weekday.
Yep.
That's fair enough.
I mean, sometimes I do. I just go to bed late.
Oh, mine's not because of that. Mine is because if I try to have a bath on a weekday, the dog gets scared and puts his head and sits and licks the bath water, and it's just weird at that point.
But on the weekend, it's fine.
I
And
am
on the
your.
weekend it's-
Hello.
Hello.
There you go,
I'm
there's-
sorry. I lost track of time in the bath.
That's
What do
okay.
you mean you're sorry, you shit. That's fine.
That if you click that link, you can actually see the shiny. It shows a shiny picture of what they actually look like.
I'm going to go and look.
Cause they're so shiny.
Uh,
You joined about 5
right,
minutes ago
before-
anyway,
minor
Okay.
carriage.
Oh,
Chloe, when you get
that
the
does look good.
shit. Chloe, when you get the opportunity, do your D20 as per.
Yes.
The rest of you prepare for the recap, which I assume will be done by our dear Rachel. I will go
No,
to have a pee.
Chloe's gonna roll a 1.
She will not.
1 second. I'm currently downstairs getting a glass. I will be up in a second.
Yes.
Roll a 1, Chloe.
Hold
Do
on.
it.
Out of curiosity, I'm going to roll a 1. He says, meaning to say D20.
Hey, you rolled a 1 with an accidental sneeze next to it.
Fair.
I was gonna say, if anything, 12 is just 12 ones. which is
Exactly.
more than that
God.
one.
So you've
That's
got
what I
12 ones.
I'm
And
not
I
listening to this. I gotta pee.
10 ones.
You're
What?
weird.
10.
I'm not listening to this. I'm going to pee.
Ow. I hurt my knee now. I rushed upstairs with all my drinks in my arms and I hurt my knee. Right, I'm here. Let me roll.
That's what you get for rushing.
Oh boy, I want to see if I got to the recap or not.
I'm lost.
So while I'm doing my role, my school have made me plan a school trip, even though I've never done that before, with zero support. The one person that was supporting me is now off sick, and it's on Thursday, and I've got no staff to come with me. So
Oh fuck
no
yeah!
idea what's happening.
I've been there. They'll drag in teachers and TAs from other year groups because they did that for us.
That's the thing. Like,
Ah,
no one available.
Chloe rolled a double 1. She has to do double recap.
Yeah, that's definitely how that works.
Damn it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, fine. So, last session,
Yeah.
Trafalgar woke up in bed with someone. He was like, oh shit, what the fuck? So he was like, I need to go get help. And then he found Esatari and Anessa, and they were like, oh no, what's going on? Fuck. Shit. And then Trafalgar was like, no, stay here. Don't tell Brewin or like Chloris or they'll tell me off. And then they tried to figure out what happened, and then Anessa suggested that the sexy naked dude pissed off, and he did.
Was he sexy? Did we establish that the person was sexy?
I'm just assuming he was sexy if Trafalgar slept with him.
I mean, they were up there.
See, I thought that Trafalgar was asexual, so I was very confused by it.
Well, I don't think we discovered whether the
Yeah,
guy
but he was
was
super
bi or-
high as fuck. But I
Mhm.
just assumed that the way Lee was talking, he was using one of his sexy voices. So I'm assuming that the guy was sexy. No, it was definitely a guy. I'm sure Lee said it was a guy.
No, he
No,
didn't.
he said it was they, but
No,
we
no.
said it was a guy. We assumed it was a guy. I kept saying he because it was Lee speaking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
With
we,
the chest wraps.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Oh.
I think at the time as well, I did have my heavy cold, so I was just
You did.
Yeah,
doing
you did.
normal voice.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Either way, he/she had a sexy voice, and then it went to a normal voice because Lee got poorly.
Yeah.
But anyway.
and I am saying that they were presenting male because Lee was having his deep husky cold voice on.
And
I
Lycoris
want to say it's
and
Sexy phlegm.
Lycoris and Anriel did the watch, and then they went back to Anriel's, and Anriel had a sleep, and Lycoris made a nuisance of herself and left.
You tidied it first, though.
And then Lycoris was standing on a bridge, and then she was like, "Oh shit, there's some soldiers shouting at me." And then there were some people, and they were at the bridge, and they had a cart, and Lycoris was like, "Fuck yeah, it's a cart." Anyway, back to work. And she brought Anriel down with her, and her and Anriel were behind Freed when Freed was arguing, and then Lycoris purposefully tried to bait the people into attacking, and it worked. And then Lycoris knocked one unconscious and killed the other. Oh no, she didn't. She knocked him unconscious. Fuck no.
Freed.
No, it was unconscious.
She
Knocked him
didn't
unconscious.
kill
Freed
anybody,
killed one, and Anriel killed one, and then mocked her for it, and she got cranky. Anyway, we climbed into a big cart thingy, and
Danger cart.
Trafalgar tried to open a thingy, but Esatira was like, wait, don't do that, it's gonna blow up. And then she dispelled it and saved us all.
Woohoo!
Praise be to
Best
Esatira
girl.
again.
You're welcome.
And then they opened it and it was like nothing interesting, and we were all like, oh shit. And then Amriel was like, guys, have you not looked under the fucking cart? And there was a coffin under there. And then we found Iltsamar and someone else, both cuddled up in a coffin, almost dead. And whilst all of this is going on, Trafalgar is digging through all the merchandise in the cart, seeing what he can nick.
Of
I think that was basic. Oh yeah, and we were meant to be going to find their camp, because that's where we thought Iltsamar was. But now we have Iltsamar, we need to figure out what we need to do about the camp.
Blow it up with their own cart. Ooh, that's such a good idea.
Trojan horse!
Yeah, bitches. I'll fly it in with my wings. I'm just
Can I
trying to
have
use next to my
inspiration now?
wings.
Can I please have my inspiration?
Ilka, have your inspiration.
Thank you, I didn't have any. I need it.
The case of the internal whatever.
Yeah, Brewin is well tired and slightly thinking over his life choices after pissing off an undead guy.
So, I vaguely believe when we left off as
We
well.
dropped them all at the inn.
Yeah. You guys dropped them off the inn for a proper sleep. They are absolutely out of it. For a while, even their breathing is a little unstable. But as they settle into an actual proper rested sleep, eventually, anyone that sticks around with them, I'm assuming Esatari will with Iltsamar, after a while you begin to hear the breathing come to a steadier pace as whatever had ailed them for the period is slowly released. What are the rest of you doing as you find them, bring them back, kind of report in general? Obviously, Trafalgar's currently like perusing the boxes. I shoved everybody into the guardhouse or otherwise for the time being, out of habit. But you can be wherever you want on the map.
Wherever the loot is.
I'm in,
I would like to look at loot too, particularly scrolls, but anything that looks kind of cool.
I'm in the guardhouse talking to Freed about the estimated cost to fix the road and, you know, just logistics of going on an excursion to look at the cave, and also making heavy hints that I want the cart because my previous cart is gone and I'm sad about it.
You abandoned your cart.
I did not abandon the cart. I want this
kinda
one.
did.
Baby start for you.
This one, does this one look shinier than the old cart?
Well,
No.
it's explosive,
I can't
so.
believe you just trade it in for a better model.
It's a fucking cart!
You slept in that other cart. You had intimate moments. You protected it with your life.
You know what?
You
So-
chose to sleep in that rather than an inn.
You know
My
what?
children spell can't.
It's useful to have multiple carts for many reasons, but yeah. I am just discussing the logistics of going on an excursion, and then I'm like renting some not renting, but being like, I want these soldiers to come with me, and basically just doing defense stuff with free.
It's going wherever he's bellies.
My God.
And
Bad idea.
to woken up upon when everyone else is mobilising to either move or whether Esatari's lover is
Me?
conscious.
I am. You mean
Thank you.
Anessa?
I'm right here. What are you talking about?
Not quite that lover.
So head to toe. Megan, what would you like to do? Are you just going to sit by his side for a bit, or is there something you want to do in between?
I'll sit. I'll monitor. Is the other stranger person there?
He is in a room next door, for a bit of privacy's sake.
Okay.
One of the attendants are currently just seeing to him to a degree, but they're more back and forth.
Okay. I'll stay. I can't remember if we checked last session if we know what's wrong with them.
Not thoroughly or anything. For the most part, it was you guys found them, pulled them out, realised they weren't doing so well, unsteady breathing and the like, but that could be just because they were trapped in a confined space for too long. They were definitely unconscious. They had a couple of bruises and whatnot, nothing life-threatening. Looking them over with a couple of minutes being laid in bed, they seem to steady up. They'll probably need the equivalent of a long rest at the very least, just to recuperate the so to speak damage. But for the most part, unless you want to do a medicine check for anything specific.
Could I do a medicine and an arcana?
Of course.
On them?
What are you hoping to find? Medicine speaking. Arcana can be general.
Medicine, I guess, just any apparent cause of their state. Like you said, it could be the fact that they were just, confined, or is there anything more actually serious involved?
So, as you kind of look him over, you've got enough time to just look more than anything, try not to, press anywhere or generally touch him. You don't want to try to wake him. But as you're kind of, looking along, kind of maybe move a sleeve a little bit here and there. You notice there's bruising around the neck, as if he's been struck or hit with a blunt object. A very thin one. As you kind of, look around the parts of the body you've got access to, you notice a lot of his clothes are scuffed, dirtied in places. He's been dragged through some kind of maybe dirtied floor or mud or something. As you see around the legs, there's a lot of a blackness to it now that's dried. But the thing that slightly worries you is you see just under the nose what looks to be some kind of very light pinkish green powder that's dried and been smudged away over time, but you can see just a slight smidge of it. As well, you see along the wrist, as you kind of move back the cuff just a slight bit, there's what looks to be a very faded piercing mark, almost similar to maybe an injection. As for Arcana, he looks fine in that regard. There doesn't seem to be anything magically attached to him. Using your experience and with your own fey eyes anyway, he's normal in that regard anyway, to the best that you can tell.
Is there enough of the powdery stuff left to try and collect any of it?
No, it's small speckled bits that stuck to his beard. Well, not beard, sorry, little trickles of hair.
Okay, that's all I'll do for now. I'll make a mental note to ask Trafalgar about powder, since that's his specialty.
Okay. Then next, Chloe and Thief McGee, Trafalgar. as you two have, technically speaking, you'd still be at the gates with that, as they are dragging the car in and putting it away somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, the horse is already gone, so they kind of like heave ho it halfway through the
Where are we down?
bridge to the point they can move some of the stalls away. It takes them a good like half an hour. Eventually, they get it put inside. You two with the large like clump of boxes and whatnot throw the net out of the way and over. A couple of the soldiers are with you as well. They're currently just like peeling through some of the boxes as well, trying to figure out what the whole thing is. A lot of the boxes are basic, like fillers. A lot of it seems intended on pretending to be something. A lot of it is like pieces of fruit that have just been like dropped in and whatnot. And you guys spend a good like hour collecting whatever pieces you can, pushing boxes away. The guards take a good like 12, 14, 16 boxes away for general supplies, and they kind of just throw the rest over the edge, as it's literally just boxes contained with hay. But you two manage to, as you're kind of like peering through it, you notice there are a couple of weapons that have been stashed away for an event such as you finding them, or them meeting their rendezvous point and giving the weapons away. There's nothing like fantastic or anything. There's a couple of swords, there's a couple of bows and arrows locked away at the direct middle of the piles of crates. But deep, deep into the furthest centre, you pull open the last box of the lot, expecting, hoping, at the very least there's something minorly good in it. Roll a d100, the pair of you.
So exciting!
The lower the better, by the way.
Ah! I'm so excited!
Well, it's a combination effort, to be fair.
Oh,
So,
let's go find something good.
so that's kind of on the lesser scale, to be fair. As you both tear the roof off of this lost crate, and you look
Yeah.
inside. At first, there's just bundles of hay in the way. Then you kind of just like start wading through it very quickly, and in the dead heart of it, you see what looks to be a small like locket case. You kind of grab that out, just check inside, making sure there's nothing else, moving that out of the way. You notice at the bottom of the crate as well, you find a couple of small, what look to be potions, as well as one
Ooh.
small circular object that has a small piece of rope that's coming out of it. For the sake of visual for you as people, it's a grenade.
Oh,
The potions all have varying colours, and as you kind of look at them and start shaking them around a little bit, their colours seem to change as they're rattled. They have some kind of transmutive property almost. There's 4 potions in total. You have one locket case, and you have a grenade. Feel free to shake that around between you as you wish, but make sure you audibly declare who has what, because as I've stated before, if there's no assurance as to who has what, it doesn't exist anymore.
I have no interest in the grenade. The locket I'm interested in, and the potions that change colour I'm interested in.
okay. Well, I think I'll probably give the grenade to Lycoris. So I'll take it for her. Is there anyone that uses arrows?
Use crossbow bolts.
Yeah, because I can get you some of those.
Okay. For the sake of ease, you guys will
Them to-
have enough downtime to move product around as you please. So,
Yeah.
if Lycoris, you do want that grenade, put in your inventory
Yeah,
just
boy.
the word grenade, and I will put the stats in for you.
Oh, that makes my life so much easier.
hmm
Grenade.
I'll go over before I give it to her. I'll go over to Esther Tide, be like, I will catch a grenade for you. No, I won't do that. That's lame.
Esatari,
Shoot a
if
fire
you're
for
taking
you.
all of the bolts, There are some arrows as well, but not as many.
I think Icarus is the one with the crossbow, and I think she was fully out of the bolts as well.
Yeah, I shot all my bolts into Vortigan.
So she can have all the bolts. I'll just take whatever arrows they got.
I made a choice.
Adds to your inventory 10 arrows. As for you, Lycoris, add 32 bolts.
Nice. Thanks.
Okay, so between you two, who's taking the potions? Or who's splitting between what?
Can I take? I'm not very good at this, but can I take a look at the potions? Trafalgar can keep them if he wants, but I just want to have a look and see if I can see what they are.
Do you have any tools?
I don't think I have any tools for this. I have a scholar's pack, a disguise kit, and a thieves' tools.
Okay. If that's the case,
Yeah.
the DC will be high, but you can attempt either a nature or perception check.
I don't think I'm good at either of those, but I'll try. Nature I've got +4, perception I've got +3. Let's do a nature. Oh shit.
No. Looking at
I
it,
try.
you did. There doesn't seem to be any like raw ingredients on the inside of it. As you kind of like swirl it around just a little bit, it goes from we'll say for the current anyway, it goes from a like dark red hue into this slow purple forming hue. And there's something about motion that seems to trigger it, but it keeps on shifting between 4 to 5 different colours. It's always a darkened form of the colour, so it goes from a red to a purple that then sinks back to a green, to a blue, into a very light touch of yellow, and then into red again. It always goes through that series of hues, but sometimes it does seem to break that mold as you shake it around and leave it, mixing and matching randomly. It seems there's an element that is required to make it useful, but you're not sure what that element is.
Drink it, find out.
I'm going to hand it back to Trafalgar and declare very confidently, it is as I thought. It is red, purple, and green. There you go.
So
I don't know who's good with potions though. I don't know who to tell him to ask.
So-
Ask Esatari, I guess. I don't know.
Did you say there were 4 potions?
there are, yeah. They're all the same.
They're really pretty, and I'm sure they do really cool things.
While she's actually spending some time looking at them, I want to pocket one, so there's 3, and then I want to say, you keep one, I'll keep one, and we'll give one to one of the others.
Cute. What a nice birthday present.
But I'm keeping the locket.
The locket. Can I look at the locket just really quick? Or are you
It's a locket
sneaking it away?
case.
Oh, locket case. Can I look at it anyway? I
So
want to see
yeah.
if there's anything special about it or magical, like
Oh,
can
yeah.
I do Arcana or something?
as you
Obviously, I'm going to open it up.
as you
as
pick it
well.
up,
Oh god, it's gonna explode.
it's a very thin locket case as intended. It's got a beautiful carved design. The case itself is some kind of very gentle wood. It's been perfectly carved so that there's no splintered edges. There's no damage to it whatsoever by the looks of it. It's very new. The carving drawn into it seems to be the appearance of some kind of what looks to be like maiden on her knees, hands grasped together, praying with a full, what looks like a circular spherical thing behind her, emanating waves of energy. Yeah.
Can I identify it, please?
Do you open it?
I'll let Trafalgar open it.
Yeah,
Well, should I
want to-
identify it before we open it, just in case it's something that's gonna
You
explode
could.
on us? Okay, I could always identify it again afterwards if it's not gonna tell me anything from the outside.
Do you spend the... Actually, hold on.
It's a mini.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it
No, I
the
thought for
component?
some reason... No, I thought for some reason there was a ritual version of that. I don't know where I'm going.
Maybe so. You can remember things as a ritual, can't you? But it's only a minute anyway, so.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Okay. Okay. So you spend the minute, place your hand on it, concentrate. And as you spend that minute and you come back to your senses, there's no magic attached to the box, though you do feel magic from the inside of it, but that won't tell
Ooh.
you what's on the inside of it. It just tells you that the box itself is not magical but contains something.
Okay. Well, the box isn't magical. Um, but if you open it up, I can identify what is in it. I don't think that it's gonna be trapped or anything because there's no magic on the box.
Oh yeah, let's see what we got then.
Justifying my use of a spell.
Crack that open.
So you
Very careful.
pull very gently as you slowly start to lift the lid of it, and as you pull it up, there is a gentle white silver cloth that it's currently rested gently on. A pretty short, all things considered, for a locket, chain that is set in what would look similar to a heart-shaped pattern if the box itself wasn't longer more than it was wide. The little amulet that is rested and connected by this chain in the middle, it has the appearance of another circle in the middle of it that has a similar image to what was on the front of the locket's case, except there's no maiden, there's just the symbol of a sphere that's emanating out what looks to be waves of energy. The sphere itself seems to have a little bit more detail. It seems to have another circular form that would mimic some kind of face, and it's intrinsic strange designs of not exactly runes, but it looks kind of more like slash marks almost along the circular frame of this entity. The only thing you can give a comparison to would be Genesis, which it itself is akin to the sun, but they've never. The actual entity itself is a giant ball of fire. Far as anyone has ever known, it's never not been that. It's never had a corporeal form more than just a giant ball of fire. So this seems like it's probably a depiction of what they believe it looks like. But as you open it up and look at it, the amulet itself, while it's not exactly brimming with power or anything, and there's no immediate revelations or anything that hit you, there is this moment where you're looking at it and there's just nothing. But then it brims with a gentle light, a golden light, as the light of the sun above touches it. The light of Genesis touches it. And as you hold on to the locket's case, it feels slightly warm. Not enough to be more than a gentle warmth, though. What do you do?
This all sounds quite familiar. There's a circle with waves of energy and strange runic shapes coming off of it. It's a little bit like Trafalgar's nightmare that he had, but there was a skull in the middle in the nightmare.
Interesting. So was that just us looking at it, not an identify thing?
That was not an identify.
Okay, I'll identify it again if Trafalgar would like me to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I do it again.
as you place your finger on it and start to focus, at the end of the minute, there's this. The entire time you're pressing your finger onto it, there's a warmth that is very gentle. It does leave your fingertip a little bit numb though at the end, but the entire time the warmth just stays around about the same temperature. And as you reach the end of the minute, it is a amulet of protection. Although it only really works for those who are of the Genesis binding, so you'd have to be a paladin, cleric, or a worshipper of the Genesis faith in some regard for its protection to fully work. Otherwise, the amulet itself gives a base resistance to fire or radiant damage.
Ooh, nice. Well, I'll pass the info on to Trafalgar. Is any of us
No,
believe? No,
no.
that doesn't apply
Because
to it.
Genesis is not a real god. He's one of the pseudo gods.
He's
From
one
where
of
the god.
the well, technically speaking, anyway, he's one of the seven.
Yeah, so they're pseudo gods, aren't they? Because all the other real gods were locked away by the seven.
All the real gods.
They're more like
Yeah,
just powerful entities.
yeah.
In what they did, they became way strong. But in most cases, they were forced into some degree of isolation or a kind of sleep state. Kind of what is believed happened with Genesis, since the one that Genesis is based off of is the one that performed the final rite to close the gate. So people believe that inside of Genesis is not only the answer to getting back to the other worlds, but also the person that held the key.
This has some real hitting close to home things for Trafalgar. And I don't just mean the fact that symbolically it's quite reflective of what he saw in his nightmare. He's probably not going to want this, to be honest.
Oh.
Trafalgar's feeling feelings.
Did you say that the amulet holder resonates with people who would be a paladin?
No, it only works with those who are of the Genesis faith. So paladins, clerics,
okay.
and faithful to Genesis. So if you got your powers from him, then it would work. Otherwise, no.
So it wouldn't work at
Yeah,
all if you're not of those.
It
or
still
would you have
works.
to not?
It still works as a base resistance to fire and
Right.
radiant, and or radiant. Fire or radiant, must be specific. But otherwise,
As
that's
an
all it
extra-
does.
as Nesta explains, that it's related to Genesis and things, even though it's going to be worth some value, he's just going to pass it back and go, I don't want to be seen with this. You take that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go look for something else. There's got to be more than just rations and things in this car. And then I'm going to go route round the rest of the boxes.
Okay. Who
Also, what know the potions as.
are you giving the amulet of Genesis to?
Well, I've got it, and I'm going to keep it for now, but I'm not going to. It's not going to be for me.
Okay.
Oh, I do wonder who it will be for.
I do wonder. I mean, I
do
gave
wonder.
you
What
a bomb,
What
so.
a question.
So
Yeah,
if
but I
put
feel like
amulet-
giving your girlfriend a bomb sounds like a threat.
No, it's because my butt is the bomb. Her butt is the bomb. Yeah, I put amulet of Genesis, but I spelled Genesis wrong. Genesis is this. There we go.
Amulet of Jenny's sis.
Genesis is this.
Did you say Jenny's a sis?
Fuck Jenny.
Hey, Jenny's very nice. I'll have
Jenny
you
from the
know.
block.
I have an auntie Jenny, and she's like disowned from the family because she's a bitch. So
oh.
she's not very nice.
I have a friend called Jenny who makes me vegan brownies.
Ah,
very nice.
That Jenny's nice. See, my auntie Jenny sent my dad a letter when my sister had leukemia saying get over it, basically. So we're just like, maybe we don't want to talk to you anymore.
You're not part of the family
You
now.
don't get over your 9-year-old having cancer. Like, you just don't. You
I
don't
know
tell
Jenny.
someone that either.
I know Jenny's a tyrant because
You know what?
she was in a Discord chat.
The problem is Jenny's from the block. That's all it is.
Yeah.
She demanded
Okay.
too much power and then
Okay.
got jealous when everyone has the same power.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Who's next?
So they've gone through the loot. Spoiler alert.
No shit.
So
Two potions.
Still out of
Vanessa's
character.
got one.
Do we just
Who are
put
we gonna give the
rainbow
other
potion?
potion to?
transmutive potion.
Transmutive potion.
Mhm.
Trans potion. Transmutive.
Mm-hmm.
I can't spell today.
Transmutive.
Oh wait, I did do that. It's not recognised as a word. When I'm finished going through the loot, I'm gonna go and try and find Lycoris.
Speaking of Lycoris, as you, with the cart, and Freed are walking along, talking, what do you start with? He notices you're kind of eyeing the cart a little bit, raises an eyebrow, and just waits for you to ask, really.
Are you attached to this cart in any way, Freed?
We procured it 10 minutes ago, so honestly,
Good
no.
news. I'll take it off your hands.
He just looks at you and looks as if he's going to pretend like that's good news and that he even cares, and just raises a thumb and goes, "Great, thank you. I don't know what I would
Also,
do without it, though."
in other news, I need Anriel and God, my brain.
Kia?
Sinon
You know?
and Kia to come on. Actually, maybe not Sinon. You can keep Sinon. But I need the other two for an excursion to a camp in a nearby cave.
Well, if it's to do with anything regarding getting rid of more attacks on my fair little bridge, and if it is what you really require, then that's entirely fine. You're the one who brought them here. If I'm
Well,
being honest,
we need
they're all yours.
Kia. Nice. We need Kia to find the place, and I need Anriel because I need a conversation, and it's easy to do that on the road.
He kind of just holds up a hand and just goes, "They're yours."
Did you hear that, Anriel? You're ours. We own you.
You can feel the eye rolling in the distance.
On other news, how much will it cost to fix the hole in the road?
Well, it's more the beam that we lost that I'm slightly worried about. The structural stability of the bridge seems fine as of the moment, but I'm going to have to get a specialist in just to have a look to see at the long-term impact. Because if the bridge begins crumbling over time, that, of course, is a problem. But if they say it can be stable with just a slight repair, then that's fine. For the moment, judging on what little knowledge I have of stonework, and from what Asado himself has told me, the base repairs will be about 150 gold. That's all of the necessary stones to replace it, more so for the theme, the paint, and for the people to do it, although if I'm being honest, we can probably get a few spare hands for free. It should hopefully cost at most 150. But that's the base repairs. This isn't including the pillar to support it again if we need that. Which, given the threat we could risk of losing people, could be in the hundreds.
Do you have a secure treasury?
No. We have 2 safes and they're both in the guardhouse.
What? I've still got all the gold we were given, right? Have I given him that?
You've given him
Or did-
1,000.
Okay, so the 1,000 will hopefully cover the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Freed, do you still want us to get the goods for the blacksmithing, or do you want us to hold off just in case you need more money for the bridge
I
repairs?
currently would prefer to repair the bridge, though with the smithing comes more adventurers willing to fix their weapons, advance it, etc. And from what I've heard of a contact in Gustodden, Hubert is worth the humdrum that he's been banging on about for the last couple of months. So it's kind of tit for tat, if I'm being honest.
Okay, I'll tell you what, find out what an estimate will be as soon as possible. If you don't have an estimate by the time we are leaving, I suppose. I don't mean to go to the cave, we'll be coming back from the cave, but if we leave for Gustodden or wherever else we go, and you haven't had an estimate yet, I will ask someone to send you a message, and if you just let us know what you want doing, we'll see what we can do with the money. But for now, we'll keep the extra 1,000.
He just gives a small nod. He then seems to have that moment of a kind of realization of something else. And he goes from a casual to a sudden stalwart standing position. And he looks at you and goes, "There is one other very important matter I must take care of while you're here, though. I personally would, if you would accept as much, you and your companions, would like to... It's ceremonial more than anything else, and it's up to you how far you take it. I would like to give you each the position of official guardians of the town, and a permanent residence for each of you. Although, if
Wow.
I'm being more specific, it isn't a residence for each. It is a residence to share amongst.
Oh my
But
god,
it
we're gonna have.
saves you from any future silliness coming to town and us back and forth talking to Garland's Inn. You'll just come forth and go right to your own home. It's not the
How
biggest
many
thing.
rooms?
There will be a room at least for each of you, as well as a general sitting area, but you will have to kind of sort your own the who, the what, the where with food and a kitchen
But we
area. But it
but we
is...
don't need to share bedrooms.
No, you will each have a room to yourselves. A total of 6 rooms, I believe. That is
I
inclusive
will.
of the general area.
So 5 rooms and a general room.
He nods.
Is one of those rooms an attic?
No, but there is an attic as well.
Okay.
Though, if I'm being honest, it is pretty much just cobwebs and spiders up there, so you are probably not expecting much.
I will pass on the message. I've got no reservations about that. But I'll check with the others. You never know.
Good. And, well, I suppose that should be about it, really. Is there
Yeah, so
anything else?
just take those 2 off the guard rotation. Come up with an excuse as to why we didn't take Sin on. I feel like his feelings will be hurt.
Well, let's be honest here. He's probably feeling a little bit down in the dumps anyway, after nearly being trampled to death by a bunch of harpies and a giant, towering giant. So,
Yeah, but I feel like taking him to a cave might make him feel a bit better momentarily before he dies. I can't be dealing with any more death at the moment.
well, just take care of them too. Sinon, believe it or not, he might be a bit different with you, but while he's here, he has been caring, thoughtful, helpful. He's always put everyone else first. He has taken extra shifts constantly. He has run himself ragged for me. He has proven time and time again a very helpful... I won't say captain, you didn't hear that, but he's proved himself useful enough to be one. So,
That's impressive. All I've ever heard him do is whimper.
well, in fairness, you, from what I've heard, did basically threaten to cut his head off a couple of times.
I threatened nothing personally.
Hmm.
I'll have you know, I wasn't the one involved in fighting him. I'm quite sure it was actually Brewin.
Well, in fairness, you are very imposing. on the
That's a compliment.
battlefield, the last person you think of late at night is the person behind the person with the big sword in your face.
See, I got the new cape, and I thought it was really gonna up the intimidation, and it didn't work. I mean, even Sinon wasn't intimidated by it. I was very disappointed.
Hmm. Is it? There's a sort of saying where it's the more effort you put in, the less effective you are. Your natural aura works well enough. Don't put on a show, if you know what I mean.
Give the cloak to Asatari.
Yeah, she is
Hmm.
very charismatic.
That's
Well,
that's so out of character though.
but it would be
It
hilarious.
would be
She
hilarious
just
though.
pulls the hood up and she's just like, whatever.
She
am the knight.
she finds the right boss that has a kink, and
And then she
just
takes it off and she's like,
Yeah.
hey.
it's like arigato, hey. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Kier and Anriel that they need to be ready to go when we say so,
okay.
and to expect Anessa's voice in their head imminently, because we all know this party's too lazy to walk down the bridge to tell them what to do.
Yes.
Of course.
Kia already has a saddlebag and your cart with 4 horses prepared.
And Anriel is unprepared as usual.
Yep, he's, I would say barely clothed, but he is actually very clothed.
Anriel, for the love of God, get your weapons. At least.
My dear, look, what can I say? If I go in, I can always use my wooden charms.
Yes, we all know you're a massive tool, but can you please get your weapons?
No, fine. He gives up the facade very quickly, walks back off to his house, and about 20 minutes later you see him, hook sword on his side, has a couple of daggers along a belt. He has what looks to be a potion of healing in a little pouch. You can kind of see the corked top and little bits of red liquid, and a small bag over his back, prepared with food and other such small necessities.
You know, we should probably get some potions of healing because it's something that we never actually get.
Reed,
Never think
do you
about it.
I'm waiting to hear Anessa's voice in my head, because I'm assuming I'm going to hear it any moment now.
Yo,
'Cause
where you
she
at,
said
girl?
she wanted to come find me about my logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the guardhouse, Anessa, where I said I would be.
Cool.
Freed's currently just looking at you
Okay.
like, yes, we have and then you're just like mid-mental monologue.
Reed, could we possibly borrow some potions? Because,
We die a lot.
well, to be honest with you, we don't actually have a healer.
I
We're
figured.
dumb.
Every time you come into town, you each seem to have more and more little scrapes and wounds. I do worry about you. I did request a healer to come into town, but given what we are and our poor reputation with Gaston, I think they've avoided me on that one. But we don't really have many, but thanks again to you and our local Lady of the Horse, we have concocted some lesser variants of potions, though they're going to have a bitter taste. He then disappears off for a couple of minutes, comes back, a tray of 7 what look to be healing potions that have taken on a sicklier hue, but it's not as if they're bad looking, it's just the red has taken on little dark spots, and they kind of swirl around. It's like when you see little bits of milk that have like
Oh
gone,
no.
yeah, kind of like that.
Are you sure you can spare this many, Freed? I don't...
It's we
Thanks,
have
but no
we have a total of 20. I'm pretty sure if we're gonna fight something, we're either going to die or we're going to live long enough to use one of these and back off anyway. Just, you're doing something far more important here. Here, please. I want to know that each of you come back.
I will take as many as I can hold, and I will make the other two hold the others.
Mhm.
And I will just start walking in whatever direction Anessa has requested we walk in.
Okay.
The
Come with
pub.
me. Come with me, butlers.
So, him.
Come with me, hexagon people.
Hexagon.
They're hexagons, we're circles.
They are hexagons.
Come on, hexagons. Ah! They ran ahead of me, that's rude.
Guys.
Ah! Rude!
So as you all collect back in Garland's Inn, you get together in the same room. To be fair, I imagine, considering how many of you there will not be space in any one of your rooms, so people would either have to be outside looking in, or you go to the dining room. And
I'm assuming we're in the dining room.
yes, as you go to the dining room, Esatari still upstairs for the moment. You go up to collect her. As you walk in, Iltsamar is slightly a degree tinted red from what seems to be a hot spurt that he's going through. Some maybe side effect. Of course, this is meta knowledge only for Esatari at the moment. Maybe from the side effect of getting rid of whatever that substance is from his system. It's a bit unclear. As you walk in, you see her sat there with him, laid in bed still. What do you do or say?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Esatari? You're needed downstairs. If you're alright to leave the two patients alone for a short while.
Okay, I'll just let the other person who's been attending them know that I'm stepping out for a bit. I'll,
Okay, we're in the the dining room.
okay,
Just come and join us when you have time.
I'll just be a moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Then go back downstairs.
So you dab him very gently with a wet cloth, trying to help him subside the heat. As you walk downstairs, the others all sat there. Well, technically, Esatari. Will you stay at his side, or will you go down?
First, you said there was someone else who was also
Mm-hmm.
checking between him and the other person.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to work here. The amount of times you've seen her come back and forth, she seems to have a small amount of like nursing knowledge. She's been asked by Freed to come and just check on him. You see her walk in and out every like half hour to an hour. What do you do?
So I'll check to see if she's in the other guy's room first.
Not as of the moment.
Okay. I'm a little bit reluctant, but I will go downstairs.
Okay. So you wet the cloth with nice cool water, gently place it over Iltsamar's head, and just kind of watch as you slowly close the door behind you. As you make your way downstairs, the room is full of people. As Esatari walks in, what is the topic at hand?
So when are we going to this cave?
So, I have an idea.
Okay, elaborate.
So, the cart was filled with explosives, right?
Correct.
And we don't know who's going to be at this camp, but we can assume it's more of them,
Correct.
right? So, I've been sitting on this for so long, and I've built it up in my head, and now I'm thinking it's probably not a good idea. However, I was thinking, filled with explosives, that we have these people,
Correct.
we don't know if anyone has sounded the alarm or talked ahead. We don't know if the people in the camp know that these dudes are dead. So I was thinking that I could do a little alter self so that I could look like one of them, and then we go in with the cart and we're like and we're doing like our business shit. But then we put the cart in there and we blow it up.
Okay, but how
That's my idea.
are you going to try and smuggle all of us in on one cart?
I'll make you wind or something. I don't know.
That's 7 people we're going to have to smuggle in.
That's fine. No, some people can be waiting outside.
Kia, are they likely to notice a cart coming?
Well, they're expecting a cart coming.
From what I noticed, it seems to be a small ruinous area that they side by. There was an encampment out front that seems to have taken over a small village surrounding the ruins. More than likely we'll have to get through them before we get to the actual, what I believe is the camp itself, the ruins. Will be searched, so either way we'll have to deal with. I remember about 7, 8 people fully clad in armor, so it's up to you if you want to risk.
Anessa, I don't mean to put a downer on your plan, but last time a horse died, you got quite distressed. If you're going to blow up a cart, the 4 horses attached to the cart are going to get blown up.
We'll save the horses.
Well,
How are you going?
We'll detach the horses, and that's what we'll ride off on.
why don't we, instead of that,
Also, it doesn't have to be me. It can be you because I can alter you. I think.
sticking,
Can I alter someone else?
if you're adamant with that plan, you could also just deliver the product. If they want it that badly, just take it down to them.
What's the product? Elsewhere.
Well, maybe not him, but we can always take the coffin with us as well. If
Well,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
if
Put the
the
cart on
chests-
how it looks.
Are they not going to be able to tell the difference in weight? What are
They
you
would-
suggesting? 2 people lie in a cart in a
No.
coffin?
what I suggest is some of us stay outside. They had 3 people.
Mhm.
We bring 3 people that can feasibly hide as the soldiers.
Yes, I could alter self one,
No, but
and I can
the-
disguise. Okay.
there is unfortunately more. We bring the product, their chests clearly armed with explosives.
Mhm.
We bring their gunpowder down as well, and we take it down below. We drop it off somewhere fortuitous, and we bury them inside the ruin. Problem mildly solved.
Do we actually know for certain if the people on the cart are connected to the camp that the Vorticon came from?
I'm sure someone told us they were.
You, I can't remember who exactly, but one of you did see that the underneath the armor of the fake custodian plate that one of them was wearing, you saw the generic uniform of one of Vorticon's
Oh
men.
yeah, that was me. I sliced them open.
Hmm. But beyond that, there's no shadow of a doubt. It's more of an assumption.
Then who will be the 3 on the cart? Well, there are 3 men. Of what type of build?
The far left was scrawny, kind of short. The one in the middle was the guy that you fought, which was slightly bulkier, bald, though that doesn't really matter if you're wearing armor. He was in the mid to tall range, so like a good 6, maybe 6'1". And the last guy was average in all regards, except for he seemed to have like really big hands, though that won't impact much. Though the gauntlets might be a little bit uncomfortable for somebody.
Well, I'm not tall enough to play the tall one.
Um,
Who is the tallest of us? Is it Brewin?
I think so.
Hmm.
It's not
It's
Trafalgar.
Atari,
To,
Is it
Atari, right? She's the tallest.
I think so.
Really tall.
Lee,
mm,
does alter self only work on me, or can I cast it on someone else?
It's only on you. That's why it's called stealth. Isn't it?
yeah. Put it in chat.
What would I have to use to change someone else?
Put it in chat. And I think there is something. Yeah, it literally range self-target self.
Okay.
I,
I'm sure there's something, but I don't know if it's just a higher level, so I don't have it yet.
possibly, to be fair.
I also have major image, but that doesn't do anything to the person, does it?
No, I'm pretty sure.
We can create an image of a creature, though.
Pretty sure. I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure at best that makes them appear as something else, but they don't. They don't keep the touch sensation. So if they're touched, it's a game over.
Well, I can.
I'll be right back. Quick. Sorry. Talk
Okay.
amongst yourselves. Be right back.
Well, I could
who's-
alter myself, and I could look exactly as one of them.
And then we just need to get the height and build right on the others.
Yeah. And then, only thing is, I'm not very confident with the talking, so.
I would not recommend having me do the talking. I'm not good at that.
I feel like you're very good at the talking. I am not.
She incited them to run us down.
True.
I'm
Very true.
technically very charismatic.
Well, perhaps if you are the tallest, you're the tallest and you are the most charismatic.
Right,
Perhaps
I'm back.
you be the main soldier. You're tall enough to pass for it, and you're charismatic enough to persuade them.
Well, if I might interject a slight bit, do we really need everybody to go? Because me and Unreal, we can just stay back and do Overwatch. If the problem is them finding out who you are, surely they shouldn't really care who you are, as long as you fit the profile of what they're looking for. And you,
But
Well,
you guys were bandits, so would you not fit the profile?
we would,
But they-
sorry, go
But
on.
they do fit the profile, but we need people who are going in who can contact outside.
Not to mention,
If-
if I'm being honest, going deep into the hideout of God knows what, I think it would be better with those of you, and then he looks amongst your party, that are capable of destructive action.
I think the best action if we are trying to go in, explode it, and come out is to send in the people who have the quickest escape methods. So Anessa can spider climb, she can fly,
I can make you all
Brewin can
clouds.
fly. You can turn so Anessa needs to go in.
Yeah, I can also alter myself, so I think I'm
I think
definitely.
Brewin probably needs to go in because if someone goes down in there, we'll probably need Brewin to take them up.
What?
Or at least for Brewin to have a quick escape, he can fly.
Might I
Yeah.
suggest that there be an Overwatch in the distance, just in case things do go bad. There's the three, of course, on the cart, and then you'll have others as the cart is being inspected and they're distracting, that others try to sneak inside. Though, of course, that adds another dangerous element to the plan. But for the sake of getting as many in as we can,
If Inessa, Esatari are both on the cart, who will be the third?
Brewin? He's stocky. And then you could be the one that looks from a distance. You do have like crossbow bolts and stuff, so you can do ranged. If anything
Trafalgar
goes down.
and Anriel are both stealthy.
That's true. Maybe one of them could hide underneath the cart.
Oh, I don't know if I want to put people under the cart. That's a bit dangerous. We could sneak 2 people in under the cart.
That's what I'm saying. They got that hidden compartment, haven't they? They're gonna be expecting to see our body there. Just look a bit dead.
I mean, I already do.
she
So-
sits perfectly in a coffin.
And
I-
I'm not sitting in a coffin with you. No one is.
Oh, man.
Trafalgar, I never suggested that you be in the coffin with me, but thanks for rejecting it so quickly off the bat.
You can do the spider climbing thing and stick to the bottom of the cart. That'd be cool. We'll
Okay,
try not
so-
to hit your head on any rocks, Trafalgar.
Okay, so
You can just sit in the back of the cart, right?
Well, you
Kier,
could, but
yeah,
It's
but
not
they're going.
loaded up anymore.
Yes, but we
Plenty
need
of space.
to reload it so we can get in and pass as the people who are meant to be going in. Realistically, we can hide Trafalgar in there because he's the size of a postage stamp. But if maybe Kier, are you against being Overwatch? If you're up on the bridge, you run for help.
If I'm
If things go south.
if I'm being honest, I would much prefer it.
Well, if you go there, Anriel, do you want to stay in Overwatch or do you want to sneak in?
He kind of looks at Kia for a moment, like in a sort of judgy sort of way, but in a like friendly kind of way, like they know each other that well.
Banter.
And then he looks towards you and goes, "No, I think I'll come inside and have some fun, if you'll allow it."
Okay, so Anriel will have to be a corpse.
What?
Trafalgar is gonna have to hide somewhere. I trust your ability to disappear whenever you feel like it, Trafalgar. So
you can spider climb on the cart, and you can be underneath it. And then when they go to check on the cat, they can spider climb up the side of the cart. And
like
it'll
a
be
fucking
like
cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, hold on a second. Are you basically, because you and I, little
No.
Lycoris, because you're the only one that looks like a drow, so you
But
just
what-
fit the
This guy.
profile. So you're saying you just want to sit lying
No,
dead in the cart
I can.
with me?
Why do you have to make it weird?
What can I say? Gotta have a little bit of jesting.
Brewin, are you okay with being on the front of the cart?
In before he's
Owen can't hear you. He is in the inn, sleeping.
Oh shit, yeah. Brewin will be fine with this. I know him so well. He will 100% be fine and trust our judgment.
Is he
Can,
not a bit like deaded?
No.
Like,
Maybe
I think we're all gonna
Brewin.
get a chance to rest up first.
I think we are
Yeah.
resting before we
Yeah.
leave. I say, okay, Trafalgar finds a hiding place. 2 of us are corpses. Kia, you're on Overwatch duty. Anessa is the. Does that leave you as the scrawny one? You're gonna have to look like the scrawny one.
oh, for fuck's sake! Can I be the hot one?
No,
I don't think that
uh,
was part of the
Esther-
lineup.
Estetari has to be the tall one because she is tall.
Ugh.
Rewan needs to be the buff one because he's buff, and you're gonna have to be the scrawny one. Trafalgar is like the gremlin that climbed in the night.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh man.
And 2 of us are corpses, and 1 of us is standing on the hillside praying for our safe return.
Bagsy not doing the talking though.
I would assume that we'd have to
Brewin
leave
gets
the
talk.
talking to Brewin because
Yeah.
they're going to expect male voices, and if suddenly one of their men
Hello.
starts talking like a very beautiful woman, they're going to be very confused.
That is the nicest thing you've ever said to me and Esatari.
Yeah.
How do we know they know who's coming?
Yeah, that's also true.
because
How do
They
we
might
know
just
that they know
that
they're
people
coming?
are on the way.
they know that people's on the way. People are on the way, and Mostly it's an expectation and or assumption that it will be males. They know how many for what you can tell, but beyond
But
that,
they don't know exactly what they look like, right?
yeah, pretty
Not
much.
necessarily.
And with a bit of makeup, hypothetically, could we try and make Esatari look androgynous?
No one could ever make her look androgynous. She's too hot.
There are plenty of beautiful elves who are androgynous.
Mhm.
Yes, but she's very feminine.
That's my
Okay, so
GM.
the plan is of current 3 set on the cart that will make the introductions. 2 in the coffins, 2 on Overwatch.
I thought it was 1 on Overwatch.
Okay, just double checking that.
It's just Kier, isn't it?
I think so.
Because Brewin, Anessa, and Esatari at the front of the cart.
Yeah.
Trafalgar's within the cart.
Yeah.
And Anriel and Lycoris are under the cart.
Okay. Then, as you get your plan set, you start to put some delicate androgynous makeup in around the wonderful features of an Esatari. I was going to say Anessa, Jesus. And you kind of get the frame of what you're thinking of, and for the most part, since you have all night, it's a good job that you make. You try a few different styles, but eventually there's that kind of, as you said, an elven slight confusion to it, but it's enough to masquerade for at least a couple of minutes anyway. It's a good thing that, as well, Hubert, with the most basic tools and a couple of sewers in the great old little bridge of Alden, have fixed up the dents and cracks of the armour, though there are quite obvious marks and gaps in the armour as you guys look at it and kind of try fit it on for a moment, see how it feels. And as you look over each other, you barely recognise each other, especially when you hide your faces at the very least. The whole thing is very, very dark, very all-consuming, and you fit fairly well, each of you, to an extent. There's a little snug places here and there, and as you take off the armor pieces, you go over the who, the what, the when again.
Can I go upstairs and just say, "Wake up, sunshine, rise and shine"?
I assume
Brewin.
Yeah.
But not in a happy voice, in a completely sarcastic, get the fuck out of bed voice.
Mm-hmm.
Get up, bitch.
I didn't call him a bitch, I called him sunshine. But the tone of voice indicated she meant bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Brewin's just gonna groan at that response with an audible.
Time stops for no man, Brewin.
Like she hesitated on man.
I was deciding whether to insult him, but I thought now's not the time for insults.
I think the hesitation will see an assault.
Yeah.
Oh, my eye's really hurting. I don't know why.
And then just Brewin, this is what's happening.
Deal
I
with
knew
it.
you would trust in my judgment. Thank you so much, Brewin, and then I'll leave the room.
Slams the door.
Before he even has before he can
Slam!
respond with any arguments.
It was my idea.
Just curious.
Kind of.
There's quite a fair bit. So, to be honest, I would have. Well, Lycoris can't really guess that Brewin's actually still on the bed, or he would be slowly getting up, wouldn't he?
What?
What?
Would I? Oh, did I just say something weird?
I just don't understand what you said.
You said that I wouldn't know whether you were in bed or not?
Due to being on the other side of the door.
Oh, I thought she went in.
I flung the door
Did
open.
you?
I
Oh,
always
thought
fling the door
I
open.
thought- I
I've
thought
never
you always left
I've
the
never
door
once knocked on your door politely.
Yeah, she's rude.
Okay, fair enough. Fine.
I fling the door open like, get the fuck out of bed.
Okay, fine. Brewin's
She
in
doesn't
bed and you
knock.
just blurred it.
I don't knock. I leave that to Esatari.
Exactly.
And Esatari's not here to rein me in. She's dabbing the brow of her
I knock. She blinks.
injured
What?
person.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
forget, I forget that you're not very polite, okay?
I don't have to be polite. Now is not the time. I don't get paid to be polite, Brewin. I get paid to stab people.
And time is money.
So
Stop.
Brewer just sort of like turns over, looks at you, and just goes, "Okay, right. Okay, well, can't exactly say I'd say I disagree with the plan. I'm going for it.
Door slam.
And well, yeah, sure. What's the
Okay,
plan
we're
once-
leaving
what's-
soon.
Okay, and what's the plan once we get in?
You guys are going to let the two of us out of the coffin, and then we're gonna blow it up.
Okay.
Yeah, bitch. Don't know how, but we'll find out.
Maximum destruction and maximum casualties. Except hopefully not us as casualties.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Are we attempting this with the degree of being able to get in the radius, or
Well, the intention is that you can fly, Anessa can fly. If needs be, Anessa can turn us all into beautiful clouds or butterflies, and we can float away like nothing ever happened.
Not
Or if worse
butterflies.
comes
How
to
much-
worse,
how much
I can grab
gunpowder is
someone
even
a
in
spider
it?
climb. Pardon?
How much gunpowder is even in that gun?
If what Esatari and Trafalgar says was true, it was a significant amount of gunpowder.
It's enough
in,
if put
It would have killed us all.
if put at a key point, pretty much like whatever the entrance is or a structural weakness, it will bring the entire place down if you put it at the key point. Otherwise, it will cause a local destructive impact, which is still significant, but it won't be as
I wish,
powerful.
I wish that we were able to like put it on a timer or something, because that'd be really sick.
Brewer's just gonna
And then run
ask
away in
Gareth.
slow motion.
He's just gonna ask Gareth this. Well, I'm asking Gareth this. How exactly far do we have to get, and how much time do we actually have to, evacuate? So,
Well,
or are we just going
that's
to just bum rush the hell out of here, and hope that we get out of the radius?
Firm Russian,
I
fingers
think
crossed.
I think we're just doing a bit of a cross the fingers and hope.
Uh-huh.
I don't think any of us know the amount of time it takes
We could
gunpowder to explode. Actually, Trafalgar might know.
Yeah.
Brewer just gives you a bit of a frown.
To be fair, from
Just
at the very least, from what
very-
you guys learned from the explosion that was going to happen, if you triggered that box in the first place, that would have been instantaneous, small area explosive. It's
But-
not so much when it will trigger; it's more what you're using to trigger it with.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
And I have a
I have an idea.
grenade.
You have a grenade and I have a fireball.
A grenade with a small piece of rope coming out of it,
Yeah. Also,
so you do have a
was
timer.
it like Horace's friend that was called the Trapper?
Hmm
Yeah,
Did he
he's
do
not
bomb
my
stuff?
friend.
Friend with air quotes. Did he do bomb stuff?
hmm
Kind of.
Because I felt like I can remember. Do you have a contact for him or anything like that? Like, do you know where to find him?
No one that should be willing to talk to get a hold of him, ever.
Eh, that would have
He
been really helpful.
Not to mention it'll
he
take a
is
while.
not a true professional, and I don't keep contact with people that don't follow the simple rules of fucking letting people. If you're gonna kill someone, you want to see the light fade out their eyes.
I back away from her very slowly.
All I'm saying is people pay you for service, and that service is to make sure the job gets done. If you paid me a lot of money to kill someone, and I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're dead, I threw a grenade in their house, they could have got out the back door and still be alive, and you've been paid for nothing.
I mean,
Also,
being paid
it's
for
a
nothing,
matter.
that's pretty good.
It's a matter of decency. Those people deserve a quick death. They don't deserve to be dissolved in an acid bomb. They deserve a swift knife to the throat or through the heart. It's swift, and it's over quickly, and they don't see it coming.
Yeah, I just thought I'd type that because
I mean, we could always be like, here is your delivery, we are outie, and we start walking off, and then you chuck the explosive, or I do fireball or something.
Wait,
Bree would do
wait,
fireballs too?
wait.
No.
Can I can I just
I don't
can I
think.
just clarify the fact that you said here's your delivery, we're outie, and you blow up the cart with me, Trafalgar, and
No, we
Unreal still
walk
in it?
away.
And are they
We're
not going to be
walking
concerned
out
when?
of there.
Are they not going to be concerned when the corpses get up and walk out of the coffin?
We'll do a distraction.
So
Maybe we should just
Nessa's-
everyone
no,
should just
Nessa.
go and rest.
Esatari's gonna flash them. She'll talk them into her harem as a gruff guy, an androgynous guy person thing.
Come, join my
Her that
cult.
thing, and then because I feel like even as her disguise self, she'll probably be able to recruit them. So she'll like start chatting them up, and then we'll get everyone else out. We'll be like, bye.
so as you
Or maybe I'll turn you into
Oh, yeah.
clouds while you're
Oh.
in there, and you can escape through the holes.
Are we thinking too much into this?
maybe
Guys, maybe we just
I'm
go.
not thinking too much, at all.
There are 2 chests full of gunpowder.
Yeah.
Why don't we just put some rope into them to make a fuse, like the grenade? Go, drop it off, and then as you leave, you light the fuse. It's long enough that it blows up behind us.
Okay, we're just thinking about how you guys get out, though. That's the thing. Unless we make sure that we put the cart somewhere where they're not looking at it.
We don't all need to go in at that point then. All right.
We're just going and blowing it up. Not everyone needs to go.
But if something goes wrong,
We need
You
bodies
that-
in
you-
there.
you need people in. If something goes wrong, and Trafalgar, myself, Anriel, and Kier is sat at the top of a fucking hill, we've got to get through an entire camp full of people before we get to you.
Are we intending to try and find anything out here?
I
don't
thought
know.
I thought it was more of a sort of search and destroy mission more
That's
than
what
anything.
it sounded like, but it sounds like having more people is causing the problems in that situation.
I mean, if you would prefer it, I can wait with the Overwatch team.
Why don't we
Me,
go scout it for ourselves first? Who told us this information?
yeah.
I'm gonna point at Kier. He seemed pretty confident when he came back.
What if he's one of them?
Kier would never.
Come on now, that is. Look,
I'll have you know, Freed says that we own them.
look,
Cool, I'm not into that.
neither am
I
I.
am.
Oh, of course, there's something you're not into then, Trafalgar.
Look,
Oh no, I'm not against it. I just don't personally want to own these 3.
for the moment, let's put that aside for my own sanity. We have an opportunity. They are waiting for that card. We have tomorrow, maybe, to get away with it. We should go as soon as possible. I honestly don't care if any of you doubt my motives or otherwise. I've lived that life, I've made my mark, I've owned my mistakes, and I'm putting my way into a good book. I have my resolve, you have yours. If I'm being honest, if the right opportunity came along, and I could get myself and Unreal, at the very least, out of any debts, I would probably take that opportunity. I won't lie. But as of the moment, I owe you. And I will do whatever it is that's required to pay that favor. Now,
So you're not just sticking around because you like us?
Shit.
Oh, that's the cutest thing she's ever
What?
said.
Why does he only care about him and Anriel?
strangely enough,
Really, Trafalgar? You want to bring that up right now?
No. No, this is.
Just be like, no, okay, no.
Trafalgar, plenty of care was being thrown around and it was rejected. So, choices were
I'm
made,
sorry.
and
I'm
choices need
sorry
to
for
be
that.
lived with.
And I am sorry for that. But I'm not trusting this guy.
Well, you can go yourself. I'll come with you. You can have me at
Oh
fucking
no.
sword
Oh
point.
no.
You,
I'm gonna go myself. You're not coming with me. You can stay
Trafalgar,
here.
We don't know,
Yes.
Trafalgar, we don't know how to get there without them.
that is
We follow the road, right? And then
It's not on the
turn
road.
right.
Why are you suddenly so suspicious of everyone, Trafalgar?
Why are you suddenly trusting everybody like Chorus?
I'm giving him major side eye.
Going
If
to
any-
speak into Trafalgar's mind to say that we did fight alongside them yesterday in the battle. But he doesn't
And we
remember.
also fought against them not too long ago.
What? What? Do you not remember what happened on the bridge? People literally died to fight alongside us, Trafalgar. Do you have no memory of that?
Of course I remember that.
Then why are you suddenly so spooked? I mean, you're whiny sometimes, but you're not normally this bad.
I had a nightmare. It's put me on edge. Just make a decision what we're doing. Let's go.
If anything, I think Kier prefers this type of freedom rather than the freedom of going back to his own old ways.
Well, in fairness, I actually have a bet here.
And you're not exactly having people worrying about whether you're going to feed them, kidnapping, stab them, and plus, you generally get a good moral compass from people praising you, do you not?
Well, I wouldn't say so much last part, but he pulls out a small book from his backpack and flicks it open to just any old random page, and you see a leaf that's kind of crumpled, pressed gently into the book, and he closes it slowly. I get to do the one thing that I always wanted to do when I get my freedom, to journal nature's bounties.
Ugh.
I'm insight checking Trafalgar. I'm trying to figure out why he's acting so weird.
If
I
that's
want
not enough
to
to
insight check you back then to see why you're so trusting of these weird.
You have to do a counter deception if you intend to not allow her to figure it out, if there's a reason behind it.
God damn it.
You don't have to spill your guts.
Are you insight
But-
checking me?
I am going to insight check you.
You don't have to
Yeah.
spill your
God
guts in
damn it,
regards to
15,
this.
14, 13.
No.
No!
Okay, well, again, neither of you have to spill your guts because there's a 5 point increment, but you each have to at least give a decent reason as to why each answer. So, Trafalgar, why are you so distrusting of them?
Because I don't actually remember the fight yesterday. And Lycoris is being very friendly with them
I-
all of a sudden
I
in his
will-
mind.
Put a small note, pinpoint on the end of that. He was told what happened, but he doesn't
He
remember.
was told, but he
Yeah.
doesn't remember it firsthand, so
Yeah.
it's,
Different
it's,
having the first one, isn't it?
it's Chinese whispers kind of.
Yeah.
So I just get the sense that he's on edge then. I don't know that he doesn't remember. I just get the sense that
You-
he's a bit weirded out.
You get the sense that there's a sort of misunderstanding more than anything else. Like, almost as if he's not got the full picture of what happened. But at the very least, he's mistrusting for certain. And in your case, why are you so trusting?
Because when it came down to it and I was pinned by 3 people, they stuck around even though they could have literally died. I'm also having a bit of an existential crisis right now. Leave me alone.
So in your
Oh,
case,
good. That's half the party then.
in your case, similar to why she stuck around with you guys, you get this feeling that there's a kinship between her and them that, technically speaking, you wouldn't think about first and foremost, but you get a similar feeling as if she's getting closer to them like she is with the party. And that has only manifested for the most part either by time or by combat that you've seen with her. And they've succeeded in the combat part. They've fought alongside her. You get that kind of feeling from her.
Cool. This is going to go down well with Trafalgar's personality trait.
Mm.
Trafalgar, I don't understand what has happened in the last however many hours. But we're not against you,
It's an intervention.
and I will admit I have been overbearing, and I apologize for overstepping, and I won't be as overbearing with you anymore because it clearly went miraculously, ridiculously bad. But you need to understand that when we go off and we fight, you kind of have to trust the people you're fighting with. And I wouldn't have invited them if I didn't trust them.
Well, I'm sorry that I didn't take your point to heart in the conversation where I upset you. Esataru set me straight on that one, and I'll trust you with this then. But can we please just make a decision as to what we're gonna do?
Let's just
What
go
the
in the car.
decision was made.
You guys all sleep. I don't need to sleep. I'll take the first however many watches we need to take, and when we get close, we can move into position. But if you'll just rest, I don't need to rest anyway.
I've slept enough.
I will rest.
So, a couple more minutes go by as you kind of just generally discuss amongst you. You get a couple of drinks, a little bit of light food, and then those of you who need or want to, you begin your resting state as it gets a little bit darker. You, under Kir's direction at the very least, are to wake at 7, or as close as possible with all of you anyway, and to meet at the gate to the Yornima Void. As you all do whatever it is you need to unwind and begin resting, neither Ilzamar nor the strange other figure seem to awaken in the night. For the most part, they seem to just rest off quite a lot of exhaustion. Literally. And as night shifts delicately into a day, or morning specifically, there is still a lot of dark hues. Each of you are awoken by one person or the next, but slowly but surely you are all groggily brought to the cart. You fit not exactly snugly, as you have the 3 on the front. You have a crap load of boxes in the back to cover, as was the original look of the cart. A couple of you go into the back of the cart instead of course, sitting in the coffin underneath the bottom, because that would be very uncomfortable, and other than Lycoris, none of you would survive in it. Under Kir's direction, sitting at the front for a little while, you travel from... Actually, hold on, I'll put you on the actual map. It's not entirely necessary, but fuck it, why not? As you travel from one side of Alden, very quickly, of course, on foot, you get your assorted essentials. As well, you do have 7 potions to spread out amongst you. You can do that as and
Oh, yeah.
when. They are lesser potions. They are 1d4 plus 4.
I take one, please.
I'll have one too.
Theme.
So one for each of you. And Kia and Unreal will both take one as well.
Oh,
Easy.
can I ask Esatari to look at this transmutive potion as well?
Mhm.
I just want to see what it does. Alright,
So
yeah.
it's one potion of healing, yes.
It's one potion of 1d4 plus 4 healing. Do not drag the compendiums one, because it will give you 2 or 4 or something like that. But yeah. So
1d, yeah.
1d4.
Okie dokie.
So as you travel very swiftly for the first day of travel through the small forest, well, massive technically, foresty area that is in front of Alden, you bypass the rocky shelves for a good 60 miles. You can see the giant, strange framing of the pseudo-mountainous areas from here, and you slightly reminisce. You each, of course, other than Kieran Unreal, who can't see it, see the tower off in the distance, surrounded by the sandstorm that doesn't appear as well anymore now that you've seen through the facade. And travelling through the vastly desert terrain for the next day half, you come to a point that's at the edge where the true expanse known as the Yonima Void begins. There are buildings that have toppled over time. There are dark clouds consistent across the sky that build and billow, and they themselves have their own evil to it, their own darkness. Little zaps of lightning eclipsing the sky here and there. As you begin your wander via cart toward it, striding across the land with next to no real threats, though there are lots of strange wild beasts. Some of them, as they see you in the distance, try to get closer, but as the cart's driving along with the 4 horses attached, you are very fast. However, as you're striding along, you have to stop for a night at one point, and over the course of setting up the camp, a thick fog that comes from the distance, very quickly pushed by the wind.
ooh.
Yep.
How many people are there?
What?
How many
There's
people?
7 of us.
Mhm.
There's 7.
Tiny up! Let's go to bed.
Oh, you've been waiting so long to use that.
I have.
Yes, I remember this.
Okay. So you slap down the tiny hut. What does it look like? You can change the colours, and that's really about it, to be honest.
I'm so excited. So it looks. I don't know. It's like. It kind of looks like a shack, but a nicer kind of a shack, like a little rundown kind of little cottage, and it's got like dark purple roof and like a lilac-y purpley bricks on the outside, and it's got a few little webs on the outside too, but like not too many, just like usual kind of little outsidey spider things, and then and it's got a purple door, and then
Just to let you
you've
know,
got
the dome
the-
itself isn't actually that big.
But that's just still what it looks like.
It's
It's only
still
little.
fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like a Witch of the Wilds vibe.
Yes.
Yeah. And then could I get to describe the inside of it?
Unfortunately, no, because
Damn
the
it.
inside itself is hollow.
It's just empty.
Because given the radius that it encompasses, you can all fit inside uncomfortably. But
I'm
outside
acting
of-
like it's the best thing in the world.
you do,
It's so
and honestly, it
comfortable.
is. And as you conjure the spell and this, what at first essentially is what looks like this bubble arising out of the earth, and this pure white, what looks like a spider's cocoon, that then slowly morphs itself into the image that you desire the most. And then there's the little door at front, and you kind of just, like, with that excitement and thrill in your entire form, you look at the others just like, come, and you open the door. Technically speaking, you can walk in through any point, but there's a door there, so they have to take the door. So as you flick the door open and move inside, the space is empty, and for the most part, you can see through the bubble at any point. But I'll say, for the sake of keeping to a fun theme, any person at any point can choose to not see through the bubble, and the bubble itself can, as long as it's only the walls and the floor, it will appear as anything you desire. But it's what you desire, not what they desire. They'll see what you imagine it to be.
I can still see through it though, right?
Yep, at will.
I'm using the see-through version.
Okay. So you can choose at any point to flick between, but yeah, at will. And as the bubbles formed, everyone kind of chooses a small fraction of a small part of a corner, and each very gently do whatever is needed to begin resting.
I'll stay up on watch.
Okay. And so as this large billowing fog starts to encompass the area, it has a very dark grey coloration. The horses and the carriage outside nicely perched with pittons to keep them pinned. For the most part, you leave some food out as well, so they're not like starved or anything. Some water too, and you close up any flaps and close the back gate door, and you each find a very comfortable and protected state inside the tiny hut. As you begin your watch, make a perception check. It will be at disadvantage though, because the fog has covered to a point that you can barely see the cart perched right outside. Fucking never mind. So, in the middle of the night, or the equivalent therein, when you got here, it was already dark from what you could see in the distance. But now that you're in here, everything is a perpetual form of night. Even so, especially now with the darkness creeping over, you look out as much as you can through the fog, and for about 3-4 hours there's nothing. And then there's this small, very tiny, like, little bright golden light that moves very, very slowly through the fog. And it stops every now and again, and then continues. And then eventually it stops just outside of range of the cart, and you can see this tiny little golden light stopped in front of the horses. And you sort of see the horses reacting, but not out of an immediate urgency. You even feel like you can kind of see one of the horses moving its head down toward it. And then the light moves and the head returns back to normal. You see the horse's head kind of following the light as well. The light stops just outside of the tiny hut. And you see what looks to be the shape of a small fox. A golden-maned fox with this little choker with a little bell. It has these two little long tails behind it, and it currently is just looking up at the tiny hut with a curiosity, and kind of just like pads gently on the tiny hut. And there's no physical change or anything, there's no like wobbling or anything. The tiny hut is a solid object, so it kind of like pats the tiny hut. But since it's not one of the creatures deigned to be allowed in, it just kind of like keeps tapping it for a second.
Who is nearest to me?
That's up to you guys.
Who would you like it to be?
It's up to you, girl.
I'm assuming that Anessa and Esatari are spooning in the corner, so I'm not interrupting that.
Mhm.
Oh, we've not actually spoken to each other yet.
Yeah, but you're still probably 100% spooning.
I think you're massively overestimating my public displays of affection.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's a few days journey, right?
Yeah.
Well, from Ardham to here, yeah. So.
I assume Trafalgar's avoiding me still.
Yeah, not like massively avoiding you. He's more just clutching the pendant thing that he bought when he was in Gasterdon, and just looks like he's contemplating things.
So
Or
you're
like
awake. You're awake.
Yeah.
Trafalgar! Trafalgar!
Yeah.
Look outside.
You see the small, gold-maned fox tapping the tiny hut, and then they stop and just kind of stare up at it, staring up at the door frame, as if they understand the concept of it.
I'm gonna open the door, Trafalgar.
Wait.
What?
Be responsible. Be responsible. We don't know what this thing is.
Fox. With a bell.
That means
You
it's a
know
pet.
what? You know what? You being responsible this time, and then I'm gonna lay my head down and pretend to sleep, but I'm gonna keep an eye on her.
I feel like I'm being judged.
Okay.
Who will agree with my bad decision making? Brewin won't.
Well,
Okay.
I also feel like Esatari would totally let a fox in.
So
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm whispering. I'm trying not to wake up the people. Is anyone actually sleeping? Is there a reason I should be whispering?
No, Brewin's not.
Oh, fuck it then. Anessa!
Yes.
In fact, I'm just gonna be like, hey guys. If you're all still fucking awake,
There's a fox.
look over there.
So
There's...
those of you who choose to wake up, look at the door.
Oh, were people sleeping? I thought everyone was awake.
If anyone is sleeping, I mean.
I
I
won't
thought we were just like resting before we
went to sleep.
Oh, well, I suppose it depends how far this is into your watch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's 3
Like,
hours
I
by
guess
this
that's
point.
up to Lee.
Oh, 3 hours?
Mhm.
Oh.
So a lot of you
Oh.
would have been sleeping or getting there.
So Trafalgar was awake out of choice.
So what would be sort of the, if we woke up now, would we just have to have the rest of the hours, or would our
I'll-
8 hours,
I'll-
whatever it is, start again?
I'll say you'll have a minimal of a short rest, and that depending on what you do after this, if you just go straight back to sleep or something, then that's all fine. You just continue into the long rest.
If Anessa's
Literally
sleeping...
done nothing for days on the road.
I
If
want to see the
Vanessa's-
fox.
But I feel like, considering your reaction when you've been woken up before, I don't know if I'd want
True.
to wake you up.
Very true. Smart choice. Smart choice.
How kind of torn does Black Chorus look right now?
Like Horus doesn't have emotions very often, so
You
this is
see the
disturbing in
tiny
itself.
fox kind of just like staring up at the door with that confusion, and you see it looking around, almost
When-
as if it's got the wrong tiny hut or something like that.
How torn though is like Chorus between being responsible, as Trafalgar has just suggested, and actually letting this fox in?
Oh, very torn, but because Trafalgar's turned away, she's now torn on whether to wake up someone else to see if someone else will agree with her poor decision making.
I really.
Oh, Brewin
See,
had a little
it's-
chip on the
Ask
eye,
Esatari.
This is
He
a fairly
the wise.
magical sounding kind of fox.
I'm just gonna like side eye Trafalgar, and seeing that it looks like he's sleeping, I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay.
You can't let it in anyway. It's
Oh,
got
no.
to be me.
I'm gonna go tiptoe over to Esatari?
Or
And
is
just,
bad choice.
To be fair, it does have to be Nessa. To
but I don't know.
Let
I
it
don't.
in,
I,
you can leave as
we
you
can
don't
go
will.
in and help.
I don't know that, so I'm going to Esatari to ask for help because Trafalgar said I've got to be responsible. Which, first of all, when the fuck is that ever coming from Trafalgar? And now Trafalgar's ignoring me, so I'm not going to push those
I'm
buttons
not,
today.
okay.
not ignoring you, just keeping an eye on you now. Trying to not get in trouble.
So
I'm trying not to get in trouble either,
with
so
a
I'm going to go wake up
with a
Esatari.
with a gentle like shaking.
Oh, I don't
Esatari-
shake her. I like gently poke her with my foot.
I feel like a shake would have been nicer, but okay.
Yeah.
You
It's my smelly feet.
you kind of
Poke,
flicker.
poke.
I kick her.
No, I gently tap her foot with my foot.
You flicker awake for a mere second, and then you kind of notice a stare from Lycoris, and you wake up just enough to notice.
I'm really sorry, Esatari, but Trafalgar said I have to be responsible. There's a fox outside the dome and it wants to come in.
And as you look, you see this very, again, tiny fox, golden mane, little choke with the bells, and it's looking around at the moment as if it's about to leave.
Should we just
Aw.
let it leave?
First off, is it Faye?
Um,
Good shout.
you kind of look it over. You do the glint as you're known to, and as you look it up and down, there is an aura that's vibrating around it of this warm golden glow. And for everyone else's context, or like Horus in this case, the glow from the creature is stopped the second you could actually see it. It seemed to be something that it itself was emanating, maybe to reveal a small part of the area so it could see. But for you, Asatari, it's a consistent glow, but it's very dim. It's not invasive.
Okay.
What do we do?
Is anything I can tell from its behaviour? Is it just curious and was thinking of coming in, but it doesn't
Can't.
now?
It seems, looking at it, it seems it's intelligent enough to understand that this is some kind of protection, and it seems to be trying to find a way to hide from the fog, or at the very least, it seems very curious about your tiny hut, given how it looks in the middle of a fog storm.
Will my mental communication work through the tiny hut if I can see it?
Creatures and objects
That's a
in
good
dome-
question.
I know, she asked good
Creatures and objects
questions.
are barred from passing through it. Spells which can't extend through the dome or be cast. No.
Do we open the door or do we just leave it?
You,
Aren't you proud
you-
of me for being
Es-
so responsible?
Esatari, you would know that technically only Anessa could allow that anyway.
I'll say, well, Nessa's the only one who can let anything in.
Yeah, but I don't like. Last time one of us woke her up, she was really angry. And I
Well,
don't.
you know who to get to wake me up then.
I'm just gonna. You know what? I will be responsible. And
I'm
I
not
will.
It better not die if you're being
No.
responsible and I'm still asleep. Be upset.
I am following instructions to be responsible because I have turned over a new leaf.
I am going to attempt to awaken Nessa.
Okay. So
I'm gonna go back to my space and just kick Unreal awake and show him the fox as well. Because why the fuck not? I'm waking everyone up.
he shifts awake just with that kind of like, oh, what the fuck? Looks and just stares at it for a moment, and then turns and looks to you and mimics a motion of speaking and then the motion of hearing, and points to the fox as if to say, "Can it hear us?" But as far as you can tell, no.
I'm just gonna shrug.
As Asatari gently presses at the arm of Anessa, kind of just looking at you, waiting for some kind of physical reaction. You slowly come to, kind of look around with that grogginess, just like, oh, for fuck, are people really doing this right now? You turn to your left and you see Esatari, her hand on your shoulder.
Oh.
Hello.
Just like, oh, pardon me, wipes a bit of drool away.
I start starting at my hair. Good morning? Question mark.
I'm sorry to wake you up. It's still night, I think.
Oh.
I was I was wondering if, well, either if you could if you'd be wanting to let this odd creature in, or if I went out, if you'd then be able to let me back in.
What odd creature?
And as you kind of turn, looking around, you look at what's the door to the tiny hut, and you see this tiny little adorable fox. Two little tails, and you see the creature's currently like slowly curling itself up into a ball in front of the door, looking a bit distraught.
Oh god, could go so many ways wrong.
I know.
So I'm thinking I go out, and that way you don't have to let it in.
Oh, well, I kind of want to let him play with it, but I also.
No, but Chloe, think you. This is the hard thing. You've got to be a Nessa. You can't be Chloe.
Okay.
Well, all I'll say is, cute thing, historically, you'd have been like, I can use that to get Esatari.
That's true.
That's what I was just thinking.
God,
She would
that's
want to go and
terrible.
see it, and if I let it in, then she's gonna be happy, and if I don't let it in, she's not gonna be happy. But also, what if it comes in and it turns into a big fucking monster and kills her? So I'm going
go
to
out, that
say,
way I'm the only one in danger if something goes wrong.
well, I will come with you. You can leave and come in at will anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
You're not locked outside or anything, and you don't have to use the door. It's one of those things where you've got the sheep and the gate in the middle of a field,
Also,
and there's like no walls.
very small correction, you can't leave the dome.
Oh,
That's what I was wondering.
It ends if you leave
can I
it.
stick my head out?
Yeah, as long as you don't physically, like, leave the dome full body.
Lycoris. Can I tell that Lycoris is interested in this thing?
I'm muttering to fucking Unreal about it at this point.
Oh, okay. But I can see you're awake, so I'm gonna ask you to go with
She
us.
was meant to be on watch anyway.
Of course I'm awake. I don't sleep.
Lycoris!
You can pass through it, right? It says creatures and objects within the door.
Yeah,
You
but
cast it, can move
the
through it.
spell
You can go,
ends
but I
if
can't
you
go.
leave its area. Spellcaster.
So you guys can, but I can't.
yeah.
And I can't cast spells
Okay.
for it
Oh,
either.
I will go out with her.
Oh, God, if
out-
something
out-
happens
I
and I
will
can't help.
I will go outside the dome with her.
Okay, well you can come back in, so if anything bad happens, then at least you can just jump back in the dome. and
Okay,
then
so
we
if
can
anything
actually
bad
get past you.
happens, I will push her back in the dome first.
Yes, please. Yes, thank you. Not that I don't care about you, but you know.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Can I go back to sleep now?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. So tired. She's sleepy, she's drooling.
I go outside with. I follow Esatari, and I just do what Esatari does.
Okay. So you two slowly make your way out the dome, kind of looking down at it head first, and then you peek through, and then you make your ways out. The creature immediately stands up, looking at you both tails swaying in a very kind of like Tails from Sonic motion, where it's almost like they're moving over each other like a helicopter, and it doesn't really make any sense physically, but it's just what it is.
Gonna take off.
And it seems excited by your presence. The creature then quickly moves over toward your feet, like Horus. You see as they move in a circular pattern around your feet, and then stop, looking up at you as if to see if it's fine to some extent.
Me?
hmm
Why would you pick me?
They then sit, two paws gently on your foot, tails swaying in that weird circular motion still. Gently press their little ear against your leg, and then look over and just kind of look between you two. They seem chipper now that they've got company.
Can you, like, talk to it, Esatari?
I'll not. So. I don't know, maybe better I can, like, yeah, now I can hopefully just speak directly to their minds, or I can also speak Sylvan.
What languages do you speak?
Common Cory, Sylvan, Elvish, Primordial.
1 second. I suppose we'll find out.
Hello.
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 You hear hello in your head.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Is this planned?
Yeah, this is
Very
definitely planned.
nice surprise.
This is planned.
What if we told the fucks to fuck up? What would have happened then?
Mm.
We'd have been like, no fuck, stop it, bad fuck.
Then you would have been
I will
terrible people.
immediately-
I was hoping you weren't gonna kill me.
I don't know, say, who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm just wandering around. I don't often get company, so and you guys seem really nice, and there's a weird thing there. Your friends are inside too.
You see? I'm not there.
Do you normally stay, are you from around here? Are you any relation to,
Mhm.
I'll mention the tower.
You've never heard of any towers around here, at the very least?
No tower. No, I haven't heard of a tower. I just like to hang around in the forest and climb trees and stuff. And, walk around here. Oh, am I still a fox? Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's why it's weird. And she's gonna change into a beautiful fox lady for
Okay, which... Hold on, let me...
Amoness has gone back to sleep.
I'm drooling. Sally, I'm missing the pretty lady.
And the pretty lady looks something like... Hold on. This.
Wow.
Nice. So
Uh,
pretty.
thank you.
I didn't say that out loud. In real life, I just don't look bothered at all.
Technically you're inside the dome too, so you just kind of turn to the side like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just waiting nearby to make sure that she doesn't die.
Do you deem this a form of attack?
is it not more threatening that she turned into a person? You lied to us.
Is this event somewhat quite joyously loud, or is this quite quiet?
It's not loud enough to wake anyone, especially with the fog rolling. Those on the inside of the dome struggle just a smidge to hear.
Is Trafalgar close enough to me that I can kick him?
Always.
I'm watching you still, and I have watched Esatari as she leaves because I was paying attention to you, and then you woke her, and she's now left. So I am paying attention. Yes.
Auga. Auga. Come here.
What?
Come here.
Oh,
Come
see.
here. Just fucking stand up.
I stand up and I walk over. I go, what the fuck, Taurus?
Look outside. The fox turned into a fucking person.
I can see. What the fuck is it?
See through.
You should be more concerned.
Can I hear them say all this? It's
From
like quite loud.
from how they're acting, you can already tell that they're in there shouting. You're just kind of looking at them. Even through the tiny hut's mirage, you're just looking at them with a little bit of a smile on your face.
You said to be responsible, Trafalgar, and I'm being responsible, saying that you need to come and be ready in case the fox person attacks Esatari, and suddenly you've changed your tune and you just want to go nap. What the fuck is wrong with you at the moment?
What's responsible about letting Esatari go outside anyway?
You just said be responsible, and Esatari is the If it was up to me, I'd have been out there and I'd have picked it up and brought it back in here. But no, I did what you said, and I was responsible. And now you're telling me.
I can't cope. I've
So
not had anything for days, and now this. Oh,
You seriously not had anything for days? For real?
we've been travelling for days.
So you haven't had any soap for days?
Days.
When was the last time you had soap, Trafalgar?
I don't know. Before we left, the night before we left.
The night before we left?
Wait, wasn't that the night we found the naked stranger in his room?
Mhm.
There, so we know about that one. Oh wait, you don't know about that one.
He doesn't know about that one. He told us to keep it a secret from her.
The night before we left?
Or the night before that. No, when? No.
Okay, Trafalgar,
Going to Alden.
Trafalgar, who almost fell in the hole with me? Do you remember?
What?
Anriel's just on the side, kind of like, oh god, why am I listening to this right now?
Esatari told me this.
Esatari.
Oh.
You were fucking high again, weren't you?
Not during the fight.
Do you
I
even
don't
listen
believe-
to anything I say? You
Look,
said you'd stop doing the soap.
What if I told you I had an awful nightmare and I've not been straight since, but I've also not taken anything since.
So the concern and care of your friends mean nothing, but a bit of a spooky wah-wah dream has really kicked it into upper gear.
Well, I recall the conversation I had with Esatari, and she pointed out I was being a child and I needed to apologise to you, and I was going to.
But you just slipped and your mouth fell on some soap.
Do you eat it or do you sniff it? I don't even know.
I
Whatever,
wanted to
whatever.
forget some things. I didn't think I'd forget everything.
You know, there's so many ways to forget things. I'm so good at that shit.
So,
Oh,
I wanted to
fucking
breathe in
hell.
and not
As-
remember anything for hundreds of years, though.
as you two are at that point,
Everyone's got memory
and you're just
issues.
there like, fuck you, with a consistent, everyone
Yeah,
else is awake.
I'm being loud enough now that Brewin is 100% awake.
Everyone is awake.
Can you guys keep it
What the
down?
You said you weren't going to have any more fucking soap!
Not
What
since that night.
She's
What is
not had any more
happening?
since then.
What is
We
happening on
checked.
the outside of the dome?
I assume the fox lady is now backing away after.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
she's got her
she's like-
fingers pointing in like, I feel like
Hello.
I've just walked in on some sort of domestic here, maybe I should back away.
I'm gonna go find another tiny hut. Thanks.
You've seen that
Run, tiny hut,
capacity.
Abby.
So yeah,
Oh,
What do you do?
there's clearly something the matter. I sigh. I gather what's going on. So, I'll gesture at the fog and stuff. Like, do you know? Is it always like this around here?
DM. Is it always like this around here? It is, isn't it?
Generally, yeah, in Yornima, it's kind of like it's a normal weather pattern for the Yornima.
Cool.
Just reasons.
Oh, the fog. Yes, it's around sometimes, and sometimes it isn't. I've grown used to it. Although you guys seem to not. I don't know. You might not be able to navigate it as much as I can, as I'm always around here.
How long have you been here?
Sometime. And then she looks at her fingers like, 1, 2, 3. It's definitely more than what I can count probably on one hand, so. Mhm.
I love the vagueness.
Can I insight check for any ill intent or anything?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, she has a kind of outward appearance, at the very least. Again, with the fog doesn't fucking help that you can barely see at the moment, but with the general outward appearance, she seems like she's telling the truth in all regards. As for an ill intent, at the minute it seems like she's more finding some new companions. She's just very curious. And there's no intent either way as at the moment. Though you feel as if she's just very, very curious. And given that the Yornima is known for monstrous entities and whatnot, more than likely you're the first humanoid entities she's met in a while. Or at least in this far in to the edge of Yornima anyway.
It seemed like you were wanting to get into the hut before.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
you seemed a bit distressed.
I mean, wouldn't you if everyone was like just not letting you in, but just staring at you?
That's a fair point. um,
I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this. Let me introduce myself. I should start this over again. My name is Akiko.
hello, Akiko. My name is Esatari.
Esatari. I can't say that. Esatari. There we go. Where are your friends gone?
You're arguing.
Just inside the bubble.
They woke me up and I'm pissed
Absolutely
about it.
losing their shit
Inside the bubble, it's kind of like this comical display for you, Asatari. As there's no verbal part, you can just see their mouths moving every now and again and pointing fingers and displays of the
I-
bag and all this. But for you, Akiko, you can hear them. They're very loud.
I'm gesturing to say, if you guys don't shut the fuck up, I will banish you from the tiny hut.
Fucking do it and save me a headache.
I banish her.
Nice.
Feel like in this, and Brewen's kind of like.
I banish her. Let the fucking fox in. Where's the fox gone?
Brewen's just kind of like. I've been partially working out just for this, for God's sake. I'd go to turn around, I look outside, and I'm like, why is there a fox lady outside of the door?
Oh, friend. Hello.
And-
That would be
Staring
like
at her.
chorus. That would be like chorus.
Brewen will just look at Manessa and be like, the fox lady can see inside the door.
I'm just staring at him. Wait, where's? I'm rubbing my eyes. Where the fuck?
Vanessa, is that an actual thing?
Am I dreaming still? Brew it.
Well, at this
Which
point,
way?
we might as well just leave the fucking dome or bring it inside.
I was gonna say, have I noticed that they've now turned their attention to
Yeah.
Akiko?
They're all kind of just staring at her, and she's kind of looking in their general direction with a slightly concerned smile.
Like Horace and Trafalgar banished outside with you now, so.
Wait, you
It's just me and you now inside.
You, when you said you were going to banish me, I thought it was just me. You banished me with him?
Yeah, so you can argue outside.
You can't
I
actually.
can hear you then.
You,
With him.
against it like
as a note, those of you on the outside can't hear those on the inside, but those on the inside can hear the outside.
I can't message him.
Trafalgar,
I can still hear them.
I'm just like trying to speak over Lycoris yelling at Vanessa.
unless it's just let us back in the fucking dome.
I let them back in, and I also say I poke my head out, and I say to Ezatari and point to the foxling and say, "She's safe."
I was planning on coming in and discussing it with you, but
I'm gonna do like a half ask, I'm half asleep, like like can I do it like a detect good and evil thing, or is that a different thing? I could do protection.
I
where's the
think there's
thingy?
specifics to it. Put it in chat.
I can't find it. I've got too many spells.
yeah, I think this
Not
good and evil. You
complaining.
need to know there's a certain thing nearby.
Not the good plan is to sound almost like we can.
Cause fear.
For the
You know
duration,
there's
yeah.
aberration, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where it's located.
Is that detect good
The
and
spell can penetrate most barriers.
The only problem is because Tiny Hut specifies that spells can't go out.
Spells can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stick my head out the door though. Does that count?
No, fair enough. I'll give you that.
Also, I'm not sure, but is that Satari Faye?
Not
We were just playing Satari?
not technically.
Never mind. I won't do the thingy. I will just insight check her to see if I can decide if she's evil and gonna kill us all or not.
By a glance. Okay, good luck. Go for it. Insight check. Especially
Insight.
since. Nice. No, you guys have had zero interaction with her at this point because every other second you just hear, "Yeah, but you took the soap." Yeah, but you're a bit no. For
Well, I
the-
look at her. I decide that she's
I'm
pretty.
not calling her a bitch or anything like that in this argument. I'm just
Yeah, that was just last time, wasn't it?
trying to
Trafalgar?
defend yourself.
just stating the fact that you gave me this soap. It was stressful. I needed to get something, and it took it too far.
From an insight perspective, you believe it's fine. There's not enough details you have. You have to have a proper conversation because as of the minute you have quite an earful.
But we're back in the dome now, so it's fine.
Hmm.
She can't hear us anymore.
I cast magic inside the dome.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Are you
that I
gonna
had
are you gonna cast silence on me?
I'm sure I had silence, but I can't.
If it makes you feel any better, like Chorus is now sitting on the floor, sharpening her knives, facing away from everyone.
If you speak, I'm gonna cast it.
I am taking the time to calm myself down. I don't even want to look at you right now, Trafalgar. So I will stare away from you and sharpen my knives, and I'm gonna sit right by Kier and Anriel so everyone leaves me alone.
I will sit on the opposite side, but I will stare straight at her while she's sharpening her knives.
So
You see the back of my head.
Kiko steps inside, and as you look at them all in full Technicolor, you see them two kind of like in that weird thing. The space itself, technically speaking, with all these people, is very small. So you kind of cozy. So you make yourself as snug as you can as you kind of just look around. What do you do?
I'll also go in, and I'll say. Everybody, this is Akiko.
Hello.
Hello.
Or
Hi.
just sit back down and just be like, "Oh."
Sorry, did I wake you all?
No, she woke me. But it's okay. I point at Lycoris.
I can't see you.
Bruin sort of like points, sort of like the back of his hand points his thumb at like Horus as well, just to join in with Anessa.
I'm low key looking at Anriel to see if they're looking at me because I feel like someone is looking at me, but I can't actually see that.
I'm not looking at you, I'm just pointing at you.
I'm
It
joining
was
in.
her. Oh, what are you? How could you see us? How could you tell we were here? You were staring at us, right? They said you wanted to come in. You're a fox. I have so many questions.
Yes, I was a fox. Now I'm like you guys.
So,
Mhm.
I'm sorry if this is rude, but like, so I'm half spider, kind of, but I'm not a spider.
Ooh.
But are you a fox that turns into a human, or are you a human that turns into a fox, or are you not a human? I'm so sorry, that might be really like racist, but I'm half asleep and I just need some answers, please. I got woken up in the middle of the night. I've had 3 hours sleep.
Am I?
If you
Human
want,
that
you can
technically
tell
does.
you can tell them what the race is if you want.
Yeah, I don't have to tell us.
If you want.
I'm being rude, so.
I am a kitsune.
Which, for the sake of context, in this regard, they are originally foxes. More specifically, they're pseudo spirits. Though it, depending on the origin of where they came from, in a lot of cases, kitsune will forget their origins as the world they live in becomes what they are, and they change based on that origin, that lifestyle. But they are foxes that, as they grow and learn their surroundings, they adopt a form necessary to relate to their surroundings. In some cases, the longer they live, the more they're capable of adopting that form, but they typically choose a single form they adore the most, one that represents their soul in most cases. They have, manipulative physical magic where they can appear as whatever they want to a degree, as long as it's within the same general structure. Looking at Akiko, this seems to be hers. You can't see any tails as of the minute. You, by the way, can choose to show them off if you want. Make it a big old balloon.
Okay.
But there is a slightly sad history that comes with Kitsune, where those of remnants of the faith have documented that they are considered an undead monstrosity solely because they are subtle spiritual entities. They are also considered fae in some regards. In other classes, they're not considered any of the above because they have a multi-form, where their humanoid form is a humanoid, but their original form is that of a fae mixed spiritual entity, and it can be misinterpreted as an undead because ghosts and so on and so forth. But because they have such a mixed understanding, people can go one way or the other when they encounter one. So, let's see how you decide to go about it.
I was gonna say, would we see her as undead, or would we see her as like a kind of cute fae thing, like Esatari speaks to and stuff?
She with her outward appearance, and even as a fox, she's an adorable thing. Like that, there's no dismissing that fact. In terms of like identifying her as a person, you'd have to use spells or otherwise for that.
Well, I think I'm just happy to have another pretty lady around, so I'm accepting of it. I don't know about anyone else.
Uh,
I feel like if Esatari accepts her, then I accept her.
do you say that in character?
No, but everyone knows it.
But everyone knows, we know the rules by now.
I'm just looking at you kind of like suspiciously, and then I look at Esatari, see how I'm gauging how she feels about it, and I will look at you in a similar way.
Would you like to see my tails? I do have tails.
I have kind of
have-
tails. I
I
have
think-
leggy tails. I'll show you mine if
Oh,
you show me
We
yours.
can share tails.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Okay. Okay. And she's gonna stand up and spread her tails, which she has 9 tails.
Wow.
And similar to her young fox form, they are these very vibrant, well-kept, beautiful golden colour tails that look
Oh, beautiful.
very bushy, and they look like the kind of things that you just have to like cuddle late at night. They're like one of those things that you hold on to that feel very good to the touch.
Should be my pillow. Okay, I'll get my prehensile legs out, and I will also spread my wings. And I imagine that because the foot's so tiny, it's literally like
Yeah.
smushing people in the face with my wings, just like wow! But I'm so excited.
Cool.
Any,
Yeah.
Anyone that would be standing would be slapped in the face.
This is so cool!
Tails for everyone.
Yay! We literally have a tail each. Like you could give a tail to all of. Not that I'm asking you to copy tails. I'm really tired
No.
because the chorus took me up. But the tails are cool. I like them. I kind of want to use one as a pillow, and I want to go to sleep so bad.
Thank you.
He has extra legs too. I'll point to Trafalgar.
I'm not showing you them though.
Why not? You always get your legs out.
It's okay. I can be shy sometimes. I mean, I took a while to show you my form.
Oh yeah, same. I'm real shy.
I,
Really
snort. I audibly snort whilst I'm cleaning my sword.
I'm not
Oh my
shy.
goodness,
There's
that's
just not
true.
a whole lot of room right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put them away.
And they wisp away almost like magic.
My wings are still out. I'm like grooming them now, just like they're so pretty. They're brand new. I only got them like a few days ago.
Are they
Really?
feathered wings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're harpy wings, but they're like purple and black, like
That is so
my
pretty.
colour scheme.
Then
They're totally
True.
mismatched for me, really.
Well,
But
I don't think I've actually got all of your names yet. So
I am Anessa. I usually have a Russian accent, but I couldn't do it anymore. So
it's a trait.
What, in D&D, what's a Russian?
I like vodka. That's the only one I can.
Go to the Kremlin now.
Yeah, maybe I should. I feel like the Russian accent might be controversial now.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing that I stopped doing it in hindsight. And this is Esatari. I think did she introduce
yes,
herself
I've met
to you
Esatari.
outside?
She's nice. She's my
very-
favorite so far.
I
And
smile.
stare at her just like I showed you my fucking wings, man. We had a connection with our appendages.
I mean, let's be honest though. Technically speaking, Esatari is also your favourite, so
I know. I'm like
mutual
fuck off,
understanding.
bitch.
It's just another thing you have in common.
She's my favorite too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can find a new favorite.
No, it's okay. It's fine. It doesn't belong to me. It's okay. I think I need to get some sleep now.
I probably should leave you guys. You seem very tired.
No, it's fine. It's
I
entire.
only
Like
wanted
Horace
to come
is
and say
fine.
hi.
Like Horace, she doesn't need to sleep, so you can talk to her. She's the moody one in the corner with the
If
socks.
I need to sleep, I have to sleep for at least 4 hours.
Yes.
She's fine.
Is
Not
anyone
too much.
else volunteering their names?
Yeah, no one else.
I didn't volunteer my name, it was given away for me.
Yeah.
Brewman would just raise his hand up and just say, Brewman Avery.
Ah, nice to meet you.
Likewise, just nods and then just still just looks around at just the genuine just around of just everyone just either doing their own thing, and just leads to see if Vanessa's going to say anything else.
So, why are you out here?
But camping trip. Yeah, we decided it would be really fun to go and try out some of my new spells, so we decided we would go camping. Mhm.
It seems a little. I wouldn't say dangerous around here, but not the best place to go camping. I got to say.
It's
I guess
covering
it's
for me.
dangerous.
We've gone into the woods because I like to stab things and I keep getting in trouble.
Yeah.
You go into the woods and you stab things.
Only if they
Not
stab
not
me first.
not like
Specifically-
foxes, not foxes. People, only people.
Only people who are worth money.
Yes.
Oh,
Currently-
so you don't hurt the trees.
No, trees mean nothing to me.
He means that in a
upset
good
her.
way.
I don't.
You mean that in a way that you're not going to stab them.
I mean that in I am completely ambivalent to trees.
What about plants?
Pretty much the same. If you like plants, though, talk to him. I'm gonna put it here. He loves plants. He's writing stories about plants.
He
Ooh.
just looks over to you, and now that you're actually looking at him, he has taken a weird, mild fascination, and he's just kind of looking over at you, looking around your eyes with a kind of curiosity. He doesn't say anything though. And then he looks to Lycoris as he realizes his name is mentioned, and then looks back at you if you engage him.
Sorry, why is he staring at me so much?
There is something about your as I just feel a sense of familiarity with you. I apologize.
Do I know you?
No, sorry. I feel as if I've met one of your kind before, but I probably just lost the memory or something. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable.
That's okay. You seem to like plants yourself, so that's pretty cool.
I do. When I was, it's something for another time.
So, how long have you been around here, guys? 'Cause
We've been camping out for how many hours? We had like 3 hours sleep.
Not even a day.
Where did we come from?
Alden, motherfucker.
Alden, that was it. I was thinking about Gustodin. I was like, that's not the one. Yeah, we are. Wait, was I wasn't there about.
No,
The cards hasn't told us about the protector.
No.
No. No, you didn't tell us. Yeah, we took a little break from our duties in a place not so far from here, and we just thought we need a little family holiday.
we're not a family, Inessa.
We're a family. It's
We're
really
not
nice.
a family. Trafalgar made
That's
that
why
real
we
clear.
argue. We argue because we're family, and families argue. So you know.
I'm gonna look at Kier like, are you hearing this shit?
This is what I have to put up with.
This is why you think I need therapy.
Well, actually, this is why I think you need sex, not therapy.
Oh Jesus Christ! This guy is
Which-
obsessed with trying to get her hooked up.
Which Brewin just sort of like audibly says monotone. Order.
If you want to offer, if you're like, I don't know, offering yourself
No,
up, then
no,
give me low for it. I'll
Anessa,
make you your own tiny hut,
Anessa,
and
please.
I'll try not to hear you.
I'm
Anessa,
looking
please.
very apologetically at Akiko for this.
I just came here to make friends, and here we are doing conversation.
Not being friends. I'm sorry.
So you're not from around here, and you're camping. You don't
Yes.
seem to know much about. You asked me about the fog, so you haven't been around here much. And you mustn't
No.
know about the strange foliage around, shall we say.
The strange foliage.
Are you planning to stay here? Are you
For
planning
a-
to move on?
Well, we were taking a sort of a roundabout tour of the place. Is there anywhere you'd recommend for a nice family camping trip that won't be too hazardous?
I wouldn't say this is the most nice place to go on a holiday. I I like plants a lot, and I don't know if you noticed that now. And trees too, and sometimes there's good trees and good plants, and sometimes there's bad ones.
As in evil trees.
Oh no, no,
Oh.
the trees wouldn't do that. The
Oh.
plants might though.
Oh.
I might have something for you actually. Something that might help.
Ooh.
Wait.
Anything that will help our lovely family camping trip. It's not going pretty well. It's not going well at all.
And then she'll pull off this bracelet that she's been wearing on her wrist.
Bracelet?
And it's like, yes, it's got like roses on it, and they're painted in black. Here, I've been wearing this. I don't exactly need it because I know this place really well, and I like plants and trees. I know which are the good ones and which are the bad ones. But here, this bracelet, if one of you wants to wear it, not only does it stop plants from maybe getting in your way, but it actually helped a little bit with the fog outside. I can glow a little bit, so I can see, but I don't know if all of you can do that.
Oh, wow. I mean that's so kind of you. I would never known this kindness was strange.
People around here. I don't see many people, and it does concern me whether my plant friends have had them. But who knows? If this can help you, then on your journeys or whatever weird camping trip you're on, then that makes me happy.
At this point, should I roll like a deception check? Because I've mentioned the camping a lot, and she doesn't sound convinced.
Do it. Do an insight check as well, like you go.
Okay. That's
I got a +6 deception. I didn't realize.
Charisma for
Oh fuck.
insight?
It is, yeah.
So that's a.
Oh no, wait,
I
no.
get a plus.
Sorry,
it's
it's wisdom.
It's a wisdom.
Yeah.
It's wisdom. Okay. Oh my god. I get a +5 to that.
Wee.
So, oh man, that's 14.
Oh.
So-
Oh, you're so convinced by a camping trip.
We're definitely camping.
Maybe
It's-
not that convinced.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird that they keep mentioning a camping trip, but why would they choose, as far as you've ever known anyway, one of the slightly worse places to ever camp, considering, unless they're very good with plants after all, and they've just been testing you, and you're just there like, oh, I get it, and then you kind of just like keep it a secret, and you're just looking at them with that kind of eye, like, yeah, I get it, we're in the same mindset, I know, I understand, yeah.
She keeps winking at us, just like, yeah, camping, wink, wink. Oh yeah, plants, wink, wink.
Oh.
Terrible with plants.
So if this is there for you. I mean, you don't need to take it. Like, you seem to know what you're doing around here, actually. You seem pretty capable, but
Oh no, I shot myself in the foot. I mean, Esatari really likes plants as well, and nature
Oh, you
things,
do?
and well, maybe not plants, just cute animals.
Been known to vibe with mushrooms. Yeah.
Yeah, she likes.
I think we've all vibed with mushrooms at one point.
I'll just nod. Yeah. I'll direct the bracelet over to Esatari.
Did you like it?
If you're sure about giving it, about
Listen, I've lived here a very, very long time. I don't know if the number of tails gives that away, but I'm, I'm old. Yeah, I'm pretty old. But anyway, I know what I'm doing around here, whereas I don't know if you guys do. So it's just better in your hands, and if we meet again, you can give it back.
okay, well, thank you very much. I will take it.
So you unbind it very, very easily from your wrist. As you notice as she's binding it from her wrist, it has a very small amount of space between the wrist and the actual link itself, so that it could fit comfortably on pretty much any of your wrists, and waits for you to hold out your hand and gently locks it around your hand and turns it over so that you can see the flowery pattern. And then, yeah, feel free to carry on.
It looks so pretty on you.
As it links around your hand, you don't notice it at first, but as she says that, you kind of just feel this sensation kind of well up just a little bit behind your eyes for a moment as you blink. And as you blink, you look around and you can see all of the space around you as if the fog wasn't there, up to about, you say, 20-25 feet. You can see the fog is still rolling in, very thick, but when it reaches that field of vision, it's like it stops existing until it reaches the other side.
Do you like it?
I do. It's quite impressive. Wasn't expecting thank you very much. I'm sorry if it's been a bit of a odd dog dancing around at Lycoris and Trafalgar meeting. We maybe weren't what you were expecting to find, but this is really kind of you.
To be honest, it's been most entertaining. I've learned a lot about you guys. I mean, I can't say I'm normal myself. I roam around here by myself, so it gets lonely.
You say us guys, but do you really interact with humans, or is this will be your first time?
I don't interact with humans that often. It's not often I come across them. That's why it's kind of odd that you choose here to camp, because not a lot of people do.
Choices were made.
Well, I best leave you anyway. I don't know where you're going or where you're camping, but I've got my own little burrow to go in.
Well, suit yourself.
Well, it was nice meeting you all. Do you guys do hugs?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Brutal.
Do what you wish.
Oh, okay. Well,
My heart's breaking.
I thought, okay, maybe it's too friendly. I'm sorry, I come on too strong.
Brewin just sees the very awkwardness of just everyone, and Brill will just sort of like stand up and very uncharismatically give a hearty smile and just walks over and just gives you a little hug. She goes, there.
Thank you. Well,
And just sort of looks at sort of like everyone else, sort of like with that look of in his face, like, what the hell, guys? Come on.
Nope, still not doing it.
I'm sorry if I've made it awkward. Maybe you can stay. You might even know where we're trying to get to.
What did
That
you
could be
say?
useful.
Towers?
No, I was just wondering
No.
if you'd been there.
No, I've never even heard of it. I don't know if I can be that much of a use.
No, we're looking for a cave or what is it? A camp?
Ruins.
And I'm going to look at the guy. I can't remember his
Ruins?
name.
Kia.
Kia. I'm going to look at Kia and say, why don't you explain what we're looking for?
So, Kia, the one who's been staring a little oddly, he just kind of more mutters it really, mentioning a small camp of people. He gives as much detail as reasonably plausible in a small amount of time, and that it's connected with a set of ruins that have fallen over a small cavernous area, and you kind of just sit there, head slightly tilted, think to yourself for a moment. And there's a lot of places like that. Not so much with people that you've ever seen, as, well, I mean, you've already stated it anyway. You don't really see people often, especially not in a good. Well, time is a weird passage for you, but not in a while anyway. So, the place they're after, you could point them to about several hundred, but none of them, by the sound of it, will be the ones they're after if they're looking for living people.
There are lots of them, and not a lot of people. I don't know if I can be much use, to be honest. I can give you loads and loads of different directions, but I don't know where you'd end up. And if it'd be the right one.
Well, again, I'm sorry that things were awkward. It's my
It's
fault,
okay.
her fault,
It's
their
fault.
fault, Kia's fault, yeah, Ariel's fault. Like, I'm sorry, and yeah,
Because Anriel's just in the corner, and it gives you a sudden like dagger eyes, just to say, "What the fuck did I do?"
What the fuck, bruh?
Fuck, bro.
It's okay. First meetings can be awkward. I know I was kind of really pushy with getting in here and giving you all hugs and stuff. So a little bit on my part. I'm not very sociable, or very good at interacting with people. But hopefully next time I'll be a little better and less awkward, and hopefully you guys have resolved your issues.
yeah, hopefully. I
Mm.
was working on it, but it seems to have made things worse tonight. Somehow.
It's okay. There's always time to make it better. Anyway,
I
I am
concur,
getting
attitude.
this. Yeah. I'm getting tired now. So, as much as this is cozy, I do like my plants and my trees. So I'm gonna go home now. And if I ever do see you again, I'd like that bracelet back. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
Thank you
joking.
very much for lending it. I hope.
Yeah, I'm joking. Don't worry. Just be safe. It can be a little bit scary around here.
So, as she says that, you each see as she kind of just like looks around, looking around at all the fog still billowing, and it doesn't look like it will stop for a good while at this point, and kind of looks for the direction she was after. You guys sat in the lovely tiny hut. Megan, with the bracelet on your wrist, you feel a light shake from it for a moment, and you kind of look at it, and each of you kind of hear something shift a little bit on the outside for a second, and with the vision that Akiko and you, Megan, currently have, you notice on the border of the new site that you have, there is this new shrub that's moved into view, and you kind of see what looks to be a makeshift twig and leaf version of a claw that's sinking into the ground. And in the case of you, Akiko, at the very least, you know that these are fog shrubs. They will not attack anyone so long as they can see them. They've kind of got a weird Achilles heel in that regard. They're very strangely conscientious. They're pseudo-fae that have inhabited plants or plant matter. And since you've always been able to see them, you've always had this weird kinship with them. You've even probably spent a bit of time with them before and gotten to know some of them. They're very shy creatures when you can speak their tongue. But otherwise, they are still technically harmful creatures. But given that these lot are in the tiny hut, and they can now see the creature, they don't usually run in packs either, given their shy nature. So for the most part, the creature itself is harmless as long as they can see it. And you kind of both take note of that. Feel free to continue your dialogue. Just a minor interruption on my part.
I'm guessing I noticed that she can see it now.
Yes.
What if I go to sleep?
That's fine, you're in a tiny hut.
So, I told you there was some odd things out there.
You notice as well that even as you kind of like shift to the edge of the hut and it goes out of your vision, you notice the creature doesn't get any closer to you. And then as you go to the other side of the hut to get as much vision on it as you can, it seems to recede back just enough to be on the outskirts of your vision, almost as if it's been deterred.
Lots of these around here. Is Akiko still here, or is she gone?
I'm just about to leave. But, yeah,
It seems like this bracelet will definitely come in handy. Thank you very much.
let me tell you. That's kind of why I was thinking, it's a weird place to camp, but if you like these weird shrubs, who am I to judge, But the bracelet's there to help. But I'll be okay, though. Sometimes they're my friends. Don't ask how, don't ask why. It's a weird relationship. You guys seem to have them as well, weird relationships.
That's a fair point. Well, I hope you're safe getting back to your burrow.
Thank
And
you.
I hope we'll see you again. It was
I
nice
hope
to
so
meet you.
too.
So,
Just don't let the shrubs get you.
as you make a ginger few steps towards one part of the tiny hut's wall, look around at all of their faces, kind of give a smile to anyone who would still look. Kia, looking up at you still, gives a low nod. No real facial reflections to determine anything else. Unreal just kind of gives a slight wave, and yeah, the others be their generally neutral selves for the most part. And as you wander back out through the tiny hut, you look back in, look at them one last time. Do you take on your fox form, or do you continue as you are?
I'll go back into my fox form, please.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
as you poof, this little, your form very quickly erupts into a little bit of smoke, and then you drop to the ground, your tiny little fox form, and then you start to pitter patter, pitter patter. And as you make your way out into the mist, when you reach that 30-foot radius where Satara can no longer see you, you head into the distance, and your light still shining very faintly in her eyes as you're walking away. Eventually, your light is snuffed by distance, and you return to your burrow, safe as per usual.
Yay!
Hey.
So, my dear, first and foremost, thank you for joining.
Oh, thank you.
Secondly, feel free to stick around and have a listen, because insanity.
Oh yeah.
I expect the next 20 minutes to be, you're a fucking twat, Trafalgar. Do you know why? Here's a fucking list.
No, I'm being the bigger person.
Unreal, he's being mean to
Sulking.
me.
I'm not.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pee.
Trafalgar, I
Be right back.
swear to God.
And so it begins.
Then get clean, bitch.
Wait, 1 second. I need to soap. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah,
it is a churro.
It's basically cocaine by Indian.
Yeah, so
right.
he's a drug addict, and he promised my character he'd stop taking the drug. And then as soon as, and I shit you not, literally, as soon as I leave him alone, he takes the drug again, and now does not remember the fact that I basically almost died. So he doesn't remember the fact that I almost died and fell into a hole.
And also, Lycoris recently has only started coming to bear that she is showing feelings for people again. So
Yeah,
she's
yes.
going through that dramatic sort of like.
Oh shit! I have feelings, and I don't know what to do with them.
And then also going through the motions of having someone reject her feelings and being like.
They were not
"I'm
rejected
trying to
feelings.
help
He
you."
misunderstood my
Oh,
feelings.
fine, misunderstood.
And to be
partly rejected because originally he was like,
you're
I
not
don't
my.
want your help.
Yeah, I don't want your help. You're not my fucking mother.
You know my real mom.
Bitch.
Yeah, but this is all coming around because like I first found out that she and Brewin are like 2,000 years old nearly. Like,
Yeah, that was some fucking shit, and the fact that she's wasted 500 years of her life chasing someone she thought was her father figure, who actually never even raised her at all. So she's going through a lot of shit at the moment. Give her cut some slack, Trafalgar, you bitch.
you 12-year-old little child.
Yeah, you're a fucking child. No, I will continue to stay up, as I said I would, but I am going to ask Anriel that when he's had his 4 hours, I would like to have a conversation, please, because I need to talk this out before I kill Trafalgar.
Yes.
And then I will just.
By the way, who has the bag of holding?
I think Esatari had it because we said that she was the most sensible and she was the least likely to do something stupid with it.
Cool.
Yeah, that was the decision, wasn't it?
It was.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. We went. She's the one who's sensible. She's the mom of the group. She has the big expensive bag.
Megan's
She's
always
not-
the mum of the group. I love it. In D&D, she
she's
looks after
she's
us.
not the one being chased by a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Thank you for that, Aaron.
What you are?
It's
Brewin
true.
would have been
No
the
lie.
responsible one, except for the fact that he's being chased by a cult.
Brewin's being chased by a cult. Lycoris is literally a wanted criminal. Anessa is into some dodgy shit.
Yeah.
So really, it was always going to be Esatari.
Yeah.
This is
And
true.
Trafalgar's just a cretin.
Long story short,
He's a
what
drug
it
addict
comes to-
thief.
What it comes is,
Hey.
I'm basic material to bring about a second coming.
Get those Easter eggs
And there's a
ready.
guy who's after Lycoris to give her second coming too.
Oh,
Oh.
fuck you.
Yeah, but he's in the
He
tiny hut
keeps
with us right now.
positioning her. He's like, you know what? You need a good bang, and she's just like, no. But one day
Next
they're
day.
gonna.
So, sex, have you thought about it?
Yeah. He's like,
So-
you're so stressed. You're so stressed.
Initially brought up by Brewin, I think you're probably.
Brewin did bring that up several sessions ago, to be fair.
Freeman has one orgy, and now he's like, I think sex will solve all your problems.
To
Yeah.
put it into perspective, though, Kier is actually a counsellor. So. Because that's what Anriel said. Anriel said that Lycoris and Trafalgar need therapy.
Imagine coming to the same, more or less, verdict as a counsellor. Wisdom.
It's been a long journey. We're all very stressed. We just need some time to relax.
Also, Anessa is like in love with Esatari, but she fancies the book guy that we've just rescued.
From a coffin.
And she's spent, because he was nearly dead, and she spent a lot of time with him. So Anessa's going through so like
A
kind
lot
of
of
half
time, like 2
confessing her
nights.
love.
We've spent so much time trying
Yeah,
to
2 nights.
rescue
She
him.
spent so much time with me recently, and now she's ditched me for this guy.
They had a whirlwind romance, okay? This is that you're all young, you're living your life, you're spreading those spreading
Legs.
those wild oats.
But she had a crush on Brewin before as well, which I didn't know about, and I was very
In all,
Oh, yeah,
in all
and now
fairness,
he's. I was gonna
he's
say, with him stepping up and giving Akiko the hug, the crush is coming back. Don't worry.
Oh,
I'm
for
like,
God's sake.
oh, okay.
The drama.
She's got a crush on everyone.
so Anessa's
She's
gone
also
back
got a
to bed.
harem.
Oh,
Huh?
she has got a harem. Have you gone back to bed, or are you? Did you wait for Akiko to leave, or did you literally just go back to sleep?
No, I gave her a hug.
Oh, okay.
I was like, bye. I think I was on mute, but I said bye.
Oh,
Sorry
okay.
if I sounded really rude, but I was on mute.
Okay. Now what?
Yeah.
So,
I guess we go back to sleep because
you
I need
all,
my spell slots.
Kiko has left.
yeah, you all inevitably go back to sleep after a little bit of staring, a little bit of the tensions wearing out.
I would like to stay up a little bit longer
Okay.
because I want to check that the chest is still in the bag of holding. But I don't want people to see me doing that.
Gonna be tough considering it's on a Satari.
I have my back to him if that helps.
Yeah.
But then I have my back to him, but Anriel would be looking at him.
Yeah, but he needs to sleep 4 hours still, right?
That's
At
true.
some point.
That's true.
Well, he
I was
slept.
planning on having a
He has
quick
slept
chat
4
with-
hours already.
He slept 3 technically,
3.
but
Oh yeah.
that's equivalent to 6.5 hours technically speaking. But anyway, we're not going into semantics and shit. You at current have Kira awake. Kira awake, just writing in his little nature journal or whatever it is, notebook.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care about that.
Back rested against
Why
the
do-
wall, looking ahead.
Why don't you just ask for the bag?
Because it looked a bit dodgy when I was propositioned to bring the chest to the Onima Void.
Yeah, true.
Mm.
True.
I don't even know how much of
And-
your
and-
missions I know about, to be honest.
No, I don't even know either.
We're not party to this.
No, you all know this one.
I know about this one.
Yeah, I think you all know about this one because this is the one when I went off in the mood when you were all drinking tea and biscuits, and then the voice called to me
Which time when you were
told
off
us
in a
about-
mood?
Oh, yeah.
and told us about the told me about the drowned man wanting to cover him again.
When he went and sat under the tree like a hippie.
The tree pregnancy.
Oh,
I
the
remember.
tree thing. Yeah, the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucked a tree.
Okay.
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 Yeah, that thing.
Let's just let Trafalgar try and steal from the bag. We
I'm
keep
not
getting
trying to steal
distracted.
from the bag. Just want to
I'm
make
back
sure
asleep
it's
again.
still there.
So
Is it still there?
with Lycoris and Kier, and apparently Trafalgar, of course, being the only three still up.
I thought it was Anriel. Oh no, it is Kier. Doesn't matter.
It is
Sorry. Brian.
Yeah.
Too many NPCs.
No, yeah. At least you know
You
their
wanna
names.
bang 'em all.
I love
Um,
Brian, he's my favourite NPC.
At least they're not fucking sin on. Carry on.
Kier, still writing in his
Having a hard
journal,
time.
looks very distracted. Anriel is laying against the wall. Kieran, oh my god.
Oh my
Oh my
god,
God.
that's so good.
Oh
Anyway,
my
carry on.
god. The theory! I knew there was a reason! Yeah, he's rested against the wall. His face is an eye shot of yours, and every now and again, like Horace, you see one of his eyes flicker open, and he kind of looks at you, then looks around at the rest of the room, and then closes his eye again. As you, Trafalgar, kind of shuffle along, you look around at the others, you look toward the bag that sat by Satari's side. Do you just kind of shuffle over and just start having a peek, or...?
Yeah. And if Kia or Unreal, whichever one it is, looks at me like he's gonna tell Lycoris, I'm gonna give him a sign. I will beat the shit out of him.
Nah.
Your time.
So, Unreal, again, for the context's sake, he's the Elven, and currently faking being asleep for the most part. With an eye open, he looks toward you and watches what you're doing. Specifically makes it known that you two are watching each other at this point. And he just watches, and then shuffles his head a little to the left and closes his eye. You think about the chest. You go into the top pocket, the biggest one, and you think about it, and you feel something start to pull from it, and you see a little bit of a twinkling of the chest, and your concern gets satiated. Although, do you check inside the chest?
Now I want to open the chest, and make sure the thing is still in it.
I will let you know the space is very fucking tiny.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. And it is very heavy.
I don't think anyone other than like Chorus has seen it outside the chest before, though. Have they?
Nope.
No.
No, it's
So they're
just
not
me.
gonna know what it is.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm fine. So
So you pull the chest up and out, and it is a slog. The thing is fucking heavy. As you pull it out and
oh yeah,
push it against the ground, you have to kind of like now use that space that the chest encompasses to kind of like divvy around it, kind of like spread your legs a little bit as you try to like start opening it up. And as you pull it up, look inside a little bit, you can see the little glimmer of the light reflecting.
does Unreal or Kia react?
Kia kind of looks up with a kind of slight wince, looks toward you, and then kind of does that kind of disgruntled stare, as if he's, you know, in a library and you've just spoke a bit too loudly, and just kind of stares you down.
I'm gonna stare back at him and give him the look that says, "Shut the fuck up."
Well,
You don't need to know about this.
He
So the still in the chest is still in the bag. I'm all good. I will attempt to now put it all back.
So it was a slog doing it the first time. You kind of like start to pull at the bag's reach, pull it open as much as plausible at the top pocket, and you kind of just like start pushing it over it. And of course the bag itself on the inside doesn't like inflate or anything, but it's really awkward as you push over the length of the entire thing again. And there is this like moment here and there where you kind of like kicking at the ground by accident. There's this kind of slight banging sound, a very quiet one. It vibrates more than it makes noise, but you're there for a good like minute or two, pushing the bag back over it, and the chest sinks back inside. And you close the top part, place the bag back down by Satari's side, and it is, of course, as light as expected. And then
I will just give Kia another note. Look, like, you're not going to tell anybody about this, and then I'm going to finally take my spot and go to sleep.
he raises an eyebrow, and then he leans, looking toward a Lycoris for a moment, and then looks back at you, and you see his hand moving ever so slowly, as if he's about to tap her on the shoulder, looking at you the entire time, as if to challenge you.
I want to be as intimidating as I can right now.
Use the cloak!
He can't. I have it. I
have
offered
the
it him, and he gave
I
it me
am,
back.
however, as I go and take my spot, I am going to flash my daggers at him and take one out and put it under my cloak, which I will use as a pillow in this space, so that he knows I've got it at easy reach.
Is he intimidated?
And I will stare him down.
Make an intimidation check.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Fair.
good job.
So
Hits himself a little bit.
you see the hand stop about an inch from her shoulder, and he clocks each small motion you make. And you see that moment where he's slowly shaking his head as if to say, fuck you, pretty
It's
much.
not worth it. It's not worth it, man.
Draws his fingers closed into a fist, not out of a sign against you, just to move his fingers away.
Yeah. He's resigned himself. Yeah.
Continues back into his
But
book.
then I'm going to go to sleep.
Nap time.
No, yeah.
Was my
So-
sleep disturbed at all during that?
You were disturbed about 5 times in total. You kind of looked up, looked around, and then as you looked to your right, with his back to you at the time, Trafalgar trying to put the remains of the chest back into the bag, shoves the thing in finally, and then you're looking at him just with a sheer confusion, and then just kind of shake your head. 'Cause honestly, this is nothing new whatsoever.
Would she have seen the light, though?
No.
No, cool. So she's not going to ask me about that. Cool. Cool.
And eventually, you will return to a degree of rest. As far as you know, a new day comes on, but the fog's still rolling. It's not as thick anymore, though. Looking around, you have no telling of what the sun is like, what most things within like 10 feet of you are. Besides the orb itself, that's the most clarity you have visually at the moment, besides Esatari, who has a perfect 30-foot vision at all times in regards to the fog. And as you each kind of look around, you collect your bits, and one by one, make your way onto the cart again. The horses are perfectly fine. You notice there are little fog shrubs here and there, or at least what look to be similar in shape anyway, shrub-wise. You don't remember seeing them, but you don't remember not, so to speak. And as the tiny hut deflates into this adorable little bubble-sized form of itself and then pops with this explosive little sound.
Bye, Hut. I'll miss you.
A little...
Is my course not one in midnight therapy?
Oh, true, actually, yes.
Ooh.
So,
What a way
inevitably...
to explain it.
Exactly. Well, I mean, let's be honest.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I know I have a problem.
So, after you see everyone else has gone to sleep and you kind of watch for the subtle small movements as you turn around, they're all KO'd. Unreal is
Nice.
literally there, just with his eyes closed, and you know he's fake, and you can tell. You've seen him sleeping.
That sounds so creepy, man.
I was just gonna say what you have.
But you
You
have.
watched him sleep.
I'm gonna kick him gently.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to injure.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh dear.
What?
Does he react, or like is he keeping up the charade?
Lee's got muted.
Lee's muted. Okay, I'm glad you said that because I don't have my Discord up.
I literally just checked because I was checking that I wasn't muted. I tried to mute myself before I sneezed, but I didn't get there in time.
Hi.
Hi.
So he opens up his eyes, looks at you, looks around the room, and then just kind of waits for you to say something.
How old are you?
Oh my god, phasmophobia vibes.
He raises an
Heard
eyebrow.
that so many times.
What?
You've got to be at least 100. How old are you?
Oh, what
Old.
exactly is this?
Uh, there's a reason I'm asking this. I swear.
Okay. Last I checked, I was You seem kind of looking around. Nothing in particular. He's calculating. I mean the 240s, something like that.
Okay. This may sound like a strange question. I don't know if they discuss this in elf school as you grow up.
That's very
But how do you deal with natural death?
Oh, what do you what do you
How,
what do you mean?
how do you deal with people dying naturally when you stay alive?
Oh, that
We live a long time. How do you deal with non-elven people dying?
well, I don't want to say something obvious here, but you cherish the time you have. Not to sound
But
generic.
but
You want an actual, literal.
yeah. How? So out of this group, at least 2 of them's going to die in the next 15 years. So how how do you deal with watching lives go by, and it's like watching a train wreck happening and you can't do anything, and you know that the train wreck has only got a limited amount of time left?
Well,
Calling us trains.
first and most
Lots of
importantly,
train.
foremost, they're that's again. I'm gonna give you some sad poetic stuff first, but they're beautiful in what they have, and they, well, I know who you're talking about, and they spend their lives doing whatever it is they want and or feel they need to do. That in itself is beautiful. I hold on. This'll be a whole thing before we get anywhere fun.
I know.
The problem with us and our long spans is eventually you become numb. So the problem with it is less to do with how do you cope with it and more make sure that you keep them in your minds. There's nothing you can do to deter a natural death. You
But
you
even you will have one.
I know.
I don't know if I get one.
Everybody gets to die.
Yeah, but not natural death.
Everybody gets to die.
But
Just because
But
you can
is it
choose
not-
yours.
but it's not fair. It's not fair. That like I wasted 500 years
What did,
and they don't even get 50.
what did you do with those years?
I don't fucking remember.
Hmm.
Oh, you don't know this yet. So me and Brewin found out that our entire memories were lies, and that we're actually 1,000 years old, not 500 years old. And the person that raised me didn't raise me, and basically everything that we've been brought up to believe is a lie. So I've wasted 1,000 years. I only remember 500 of them,
Well,
and of those 500s, I was chasing what is essentially a phantom. My only friend is a timeless person who, like me, does not age and will not die a natural death. So I really don't know what I'm meant to do now that everyone around me is going to die within the next 100 years. Because I've never seen anyone die before, other than the ones that I stabbed, but that's a different story.
he has a quite a raised eyebrow. Wow, that's a lot.
Hmm.
Hmm. You, you might want to give me a second for that one. Wow, really? You've been both even him? 500 years, huh?
Ah, he's older than me. Would you believe it?
Hmm.
When I was a baby, he was a young child.
That's yeah. You guys have
You do
some weird
you
shit
you,
going on.
you do realize that I'm not a drow.
No, no, that was pretty obvious from the get-go. You never
Okay, good.
sleep.
Okay,
It's I don't know what you
okay.
are. I don't really want to know, but the teeth and well, there's assumptions being made. But you're not
I'm
turning
not
into
a vampire.
sushi, so
I'm not a vampire. I have a vampire parent. But this is how many people have you seen die? Like how
mm.
do you remember every single one of them? You're gonna live for like 900 years. Do you remember every person in the whole 900 years, or do you just choose some favorite?
You see, he just kind of closes his eyes for a second, shakes his head a little bit, then he looks around the room, checking everyone's still asleep. He reaches back into his little like back satchel, looks to you before pulling something out, and goes, "If you, and I'm being serious here, if you ever tell anybody about this, we will no longer be friends, ever. I will forget about
Oh,
you
we're
by choice."
friends. Fine, I
We
won't
will
tell
never
anyone.
smush.
He slowly opens the bag, looking around still, pulls out a small, what looks to be pair of rings, held one in his pointer and one is in his middle finger. He hides them behind the bag still, but enough for you to look down and see. These were my previous husband and wives. And then he puts them back into the pouch, closes it. You
That's creepy.
How do you the thought of the I don't she looks around to make sure that everyone is definitely still asleep.
Uh-huh.
I will watch Trafalgar very closely
At
to
this
make
point, I'm
sure
well
he's
asleep.
definitely okay, fine. uh, I'm not used to these emotions, and we've had some very close calls recently, and the mere thought of the pain that it would cause for them to die is horrific, and that's just thinking about it. So how do you even do it again?
because I married twice to wondrous people. I'll never forget either. One of them, very smoking, hot redhead. You wouldn't believe, crazy fiery. I'll let you figure out which one it was, at your own discretion. And I then found my next. And believe it or not, I loved them both the same. And when I lost them, I spent a good 20 years mourning both. I feel as if, in a weird way, that if they were both alive in the same time, they would have probably made out with each other, and then I would have been in the corner just staring. It would have been
But
expected.
that's so creepy and real.
Well, yeah, but I'm getting to a point. The point being that there isn't really an answer for you on that one. People are destined to die when they die, and you have to either stab the son of a bitch that takes them, or you mourn them, and you go on. You keep them in your head. As long as they're in your head, or in your heart, they'll keep on moving. As long as you keep on moving, they'll keep on moving. There is no easy answer to this. The pain has to stay. If you forget them, if you lose the pain, that is fine, but never forget them. Ever. And I know you have a sordid relationship with him, but for crying
I
out
don't
loud.
have a sordid relation.
No, that
It's complicated.
visceral answer is exactly what I mean.
No.
No, you have a fine, normal I was joking, look. What I mean is you're very defensive, protective. I'm quite aware of that much.
He was the first one to be kind to me without being disgusted by me. It's the first thing that ever happened, okay? And I just don't like that his life will be very short and Anessa's life will be very short. And there are disgusting people out there like my mother that get to live for centuries.
Well, I mean, just spitballing a cosmic insult here, I guess, but you could always find someone really powerful and at the last few years of their death transform them into something else.
I actually offered that to Trafalgar and he said no.
Well, I don't mean like, I'm talking more.
Did you just blah 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 at me?
Well, kind of, but hey, look, let's be honest here. That's basically what you just said you were going to do anyway. So
Yes, but the point is that can't that I offered that and that offer was turned down.
yes, exactly, and that's fair.
I have to watch Esatari go through the grief of losing Anessa, and then I have to lose Esatari.
Well,
And then eventually, I mean, Brewin will be here forever, but that's Brewin.
Well,
Brewin can't escape me, apparently.
why do you think I cling to Enriel somewhat? Kier.
You mean
Kier,
Kier?
yeah.
But
What?
Kier will die.
He will.
Kier is human.
And if I'm being honest, I've heard some things about his kidneys. He's not doing so well in that department.
What?
A little bit of a personal one here, but they're failing. He's got at least another 10 or so years, so it's not catastrophic, but unless inevitably he visits some kind of surgeon or hopefully anyway a great magician or cleric, he will his kidneys will eventually fail.
This is just what I needed to hear. Oh,
Well,
fuck me.
I'm the one who's known him far longer than you. I get to have that disappointment.
I know, but
But it's their choice.
I
And
know.
when
I
they
know.
go, they will go out doing whatever it is they set to do. Just like you're doing now. Doing crazy batshit bullshit about blowing up ruins and destroying the cults or something. I honestly stopped following. But they have to do it the way they want, and you've got to go out with them, or help them go the way they want. Be there with them as long as possible. Keep mementos, keep them in your thoughts, never let them die spiritually. Beyond that, you just have to make do. And if you
I
do
will
live
just
as long as
nod.
you say you're going to, you've got to keep me in your thoughts too now, because, well, I mean, you don't get advice like that every lifetime. Well, you.
Yeah, but I've got at least another 600 years of you, so.
This is true. Honestly, I know I'm an elf and whatnot, and I've got a sort of similar perspective, but why didn't you talk to Kier about this? He actually is a therapist, you know.
Because saying to the human, oh, it's so sad when all of these short-lived people die, doesn't tend to have the same
Well,
feedback.
true, but
And now that you say that he is actually ill, I feel like reminding someone of their own mortality in this situation is probably not very kind.
maybe, but he understands the concept, and
Uh,
he can help you. And do remember, I mean, he's faced death for many years now. Before all the bandit shit, he was killing beasts left and right. He was a good hunter back in the day. And then, obviously, Vortigern and all that shit happened, but don't. The value of life is not measured solely by time, is kind of the point. And then he points, and his finger slowly drifts around the room. All of these people, they're important, obviously, to you. Keep them in your thoughts, and keep them safe. I mean, that goes without saying with you. Now,
I will just smile and give him a pat on the cheek and just go and stare out the hut.
nuts. Kind of like curls onto his side. You hear sort of a deep breath, and then everybody eventually gets to a air quote sleep. And of course, for the sake of Vanessa not missing anything, we will end session there, and because it's 11 and shit.
Yeah.
With all of that gone, you all enjoy the sort of silence as sleep goes, and then in the morning you begin your journeys back to forward even, as you all perch up the cart with Esatari's new degree of vision. You guys using the map as best as you can to generally explore the area under Kier's tutelage, and giving a general description of parts of the land that look familiar from the bird's nest view he had. You will next week continue on towards the main event. But that's it. Good night.
All right.
Good night, you bunch of nerds.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having
the
me in
session.
For
again.
joining
Thanks
us,
for
Sophie.
coming.
Good joining.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Night, guys. Bye.
Night.